Achane injured? Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Not to spoil some of the meat and potatoes of the show, Achane should be ready for week 1, but there is concern that he has a soft tissue injury. We'll talk about that. Dart looking fantastic, to be honest with you. I'm very impressed with Dart. Dart's changing my tune watching him play, and I'm excited about Neighbors' future. Stetson Bennett is a fantastic player. Let me just tell you, that makes me super excited about Kyren Williams, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams for 2025. I've had my concerns about what would happen, but if Stafford couldn't end up playing week 1. But if this thing goes awry with Stafford, and I got more news on Stafford, apparently maybe he's not going to practice on Monday, maybe he will. I'll let you know on that in a second. We'll get to all this stuff in a second after the intro. Bennett might be the saving grace of this situation. 3 TDs, 324. He's looked fantastic. Love this guy. Jeanty. What can we say about Jeanty? What can we say about Jeanty?
Mashed potatoes! Yeah, buddy.
Can you imagine freaking out about Jeanty's -1 yard on 3 carries last preseason game when he didn't even have his team with him, his starting quarterback? You didn't have Brock Bowers stretching the field. Like, people are actually crying and complaining. 7 carries, 33 yards, and a touchdown. Henderson scores again. Look at the board right here. We've got a lot to go over. The Fantasy Football Show preseason week 2 reaction show, where we try and determine what players are taking steps forward, what players are taking steps back, and what players we shouldn't overreact on. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
So we'll be drafting tonight as well. Don't you worry about that. And your boy Smitty is actually on the clock right now in a draft. Let me throw that up on screen here. We'll be drafting in a draft together after this one. Garrett Wilson's becoming my absolute favorite pick here. I want to take, Hendy. You know I do, but this way too early. We got to see if he'll come back around. I don't know if he will anymore. I think he's going to climb into round 3. But right now, let's see what the reaction is. Maybe the reaction is as crazy as we think. I've seen Rashee Rice go in the mother-freaking bottom of 4 still, like clockwork. No one's scared off from that, it seems. Sometimes they'll fall to like 6, or late 5, but it's very rare. I've been seeing Rice go in the 4.5 to 5.1 range still. He's not moving. So we'll see what happens with Trey Henderson here. We're in this draft. This is a best ball mania. So $2 million to first place. Bijan Robinson, Kyren, Garrett Wilson. Couldn't like my start any better. This is fantastic. Now let's get back over here. We'll swing back around. Then we'll be drafting together. And if anybody wants to draft with us tonight, all you got to do is hit the link that I'm dropping in the live chat right now. I'm going to pin that link. It inserts code Smitty for you into the app. You can insert code Smitty yourself if you just manually download the app, but it's easier if you just hit this link and it'll do it for you. $10 minimum. We're going to do probably a $5 puppy draft. So $10 minimum, they'll give you 50% match on your first deposit. With a $10 minimum, that gets you $15 and you're only putting in 10, and you can do 3 drafts with us tonight. So get ready for that. Man, I love I love what I'm seeing. Let's first talk about Hendy again real quick. Hendy, what a monster. Let me move this right here. Hendy, 20 yards and a TD. Looking like an absolute beast. Let me see if I can actually zoom out of this, so I can get a little bit more of that. Okay, there we go. Hendy's done nothing but score, just constantly scoring touchdowns, whether it's on a kick return, whether it's on a carry, and he's not a player that can be tackled. He's shedding tackles left and right. He's looking shifty. He's looking smooth. He is Gibbs. Gibbs is Hendy. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. This is the next Jahmyr Gibbs. This is Jahmyr Gibbs 2.0. Trey Henderson. Trey Henderson is the man. And if anybody can say something like that, I don't want to hear, oh, let's back off, let's pump the brakes on that. If anybody can say anything about who the next Jahmyr Gibbs is, it's me. Okay? It's us. We get to make that determination. We don't have to back off nothing. Just like when someone said, oh, you think Jahmyr Gibbs is the next whatever, everyone said pump the brakes on that. And who was right and who was wrong? We were right. We had the equation. We had the flux capacitor firing on all cylinders. We knew what was going on. But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10. We can say whatever we want. And if we say that Hendy's the new Jahmyr Gibbs, well, I got news for you. I'm almost up, so I gotta draft here before I hit this button. I want to hit this button now, but do it live.
Taking it to the house every time he touches the football, baby. Taking it to the house every time he touches the football, baby.
So I went ahead and took Rice here. Rice fell. He's falling to the 4.11 I just can't resist this ADP still. Even if I don't expect him anywhere near 10 games. So I'm rolling the dice here. Gonna grab Rice here. And I think I'm probably gonna grab, unfortunately, Hendy didn't fall. Now I could grab RJ Harvey here, or I could grab Hunter. I'm going to go Hunter because of my wide receiver room, because of Rice potentially being out. I'm going to go this way. We're going to go safe. Now, where did Hendy go? He must have went where my head is. There we go. He went at the 4.1. I'm kind of feeling like that's probably where he's going to linger for now. The reason I think he's going to stay there for now, I think he'll climb. But the reason I think he's going to linger there for now is because everybody's going to be potentially letting that ADP kind of, simmer a little bit. Scotty not answering phone calls right yet. I'll tell you when the phone lines are open. Once we've got, I think, that ADP climbing up, it's going to get hit by another wave. Right now, people are sitting there saying to themselves, damn, he's not climbing ADP wise yet because it hasn't updated, but I got to take him. And then once that ADP updates, people are still going to reach a little bit from there. I think right now it's an uncomfortable reach because you got to scroll down quite a bit. This is a nice approach here from the 12 spot. That's probably one of our people. Ram, I think Ram might be. So that's a Hendy, Harvey, wait on running backs, and then go ahead and roll with the Double Henderson Harvey stack. I like that. It's a good squad. Your boys got the Bijan, the Kyren, the Garrett Wilson, the Rashee Rice, and Travis Hunter. Scotty, I already told you I'm not answering calls right now, pal. Not yet. Okay, let's swing back over here. And I'll just say this, let's wrap this up real quickly. I'll do it as fast as I can. Trey Henderson, 4 carries, 20 yards, 5 yards a clip, 1 TD. He looked magnificent. Jeanty, 7 carries for 33 yards. Nice, strong touchdown run. Looked absolutely insanely solid. This is the biggest news of the night because it impacts Kyren. It impacts Puka. It impacts Devontae Adams. Stetson Bennett, a quarterback I've loved for quite some time. He stepped away from the game, and it kind of felt like he was going to just fall away into the abyss. And I was kind of disappointed because this was a sleeper quarterback of mine for a while. And he just kind of creeps back in. He's always had a place in Sean McVay's heart, and Sean McVay's always seen a lot in him. And you got to take that in a very, very solid fashion because this is a coach that knows what he wants. This is a coach that needs a certain type of quarterback. to operate his offense. And while it feels like everything's doom and gloom potentially with Stafford, and I'm not saying I feel that way necessarily. I think there's still hope that he could play week 1. We're still a ways away from week 1, but we got some new news that isn't the greatest maybe, but it might not be bad. We don't really know yet. On the clock here. A little early for him, but I don't. Actually, I shouldn't have gone Mahomes because I don't think this guy is in our crew, and he probably wouldn't bully QB this. So I could have just went with the guy that hopefully he doesn't take. That was a mistake on my part. Always look ahead and see if the person doesn't need a quarterback, needs a quarterback. And Mahomes is a little bit of a reach anyway, so he wasn't going to take him. But I might be okay. Let's see if he takes my guy. If so, I'll be looking back at that as maybe a mistake. Although I don't even know who I'm going to take here, actually. Yeah, you didn't take him. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just take best player available. Right now, I've gone Bajan, Kyren Williams, Garrett Wilson, Rashee Rice, Travis Hunter, Mahomes, and Laporta. I've gone best player available. Best player available. Okay, so as I was saying, Stetson Bennett dropping. Look at this line. 108 passer rating, by the way, 108.8. 3 TDs, 1 INT, 324 passing yards, 28 of 40. Operating, and again, we gotta make sure we're not looking at this thing from everybody that crushes the preseason is going to crush the regular season, and everybody that does bad in the preseason is going to do bad in the regular season. You've got twos out there. You've got, in Milton's case, a lot of people are trashing Milton right now. Milton's not throwing to Lamb and Pickens. I mean, what more do you want from the guy? And while Bennett's not necessarily throwing with his guys either, every team's built differently in the depth department. So it's kind of hard to judge every player the same when they're playing against backups. But yeah, Stetson Bennett feels like the guy. I'm telling you, this is a real nice vibe to it. I feel like this is what McVay's wanted for a while. He could have easily given up on Stetson Bennett when he stepped away from ball for just a little bit. And now he's back. And this is a player that he's believed in for a long time. And that should go a long way in your confidence level in him being a guy that can deliver what's needed to be delivered. So Stafford, yeah, if Stafford can't make it back, I'm feeling really confident that Stetson Bennett not only gets to start over Jimmy Garoppolo, but he ends up playing really, really well. This is the news that kind of is the concern, right? From Ian Rappaport about 3 hours ago, said, asked to confirm whether Matthew Stafford worked out as scheduled on Saturday, which was the plan. A Rams official declined to comment and said that Coach Sean McVay would address the situation on Monday. Not good. Not good. However, doesn't mean they aren't saying we're just pushing it to Monday and Stafford's fine. I will say this. Stafford was seen walking around the sidelines, just laughing, moving around fine. So it's not like he's like in a bed somewhere or propped up in a corner or in a wheelchair or not able to walk or move or anything like that. He was walking not gingerly at all, walking with a pep in his step, talking to everybody, leaning over, picking up stuff. Like there was no concerns about his back in terms of moving it. It's just more so like management. But I think my point here is this, that I don't really know that I'm not worried anymore, even if something did pop up. Like Stetson Bennett might be the team's future. And keep in mind that McVay's always year to year with Stafford. Stafford may have signed what looks and appears to be a multi-year deal. It's not. It's a year-to-year contract. And McVay said that, and Stafford said that every year they're going to have to readdress it. They have to restructure it, or they got to release him. Team-friendly. Doesn't matter if multiple years are involved. That's so that the team can manipulate the contracts as best as they can for each upcoming season and restructure stuff. So Stafford might be gone after this year, and he might not even be the starter if Stetson Bennett gets a shot and then blows up, but we'll see. On the clock here, this is a tough spot to be in for me because I am in need potentially of some other players, but I'm going to go ahead and do my usual bully QB maneuver here, where I go and I'm grabbing Mahomes and Rice, but I don't necessarily need Mahomes, Rice, and Kelsey. I very much like going Bo Nix and Ingram while I also have Mahomes and Rice on my squad. kind of a cross streaming of sorts that really, I think, sits well. And so I could go Kelsey here, but I'm not. I'm going to go Evan Ingram. I'm going to go the Joker, the tight end Joker role. Harvey's the other Joker role over in Denver. So this team's looking pretty good. I bully QB'd. I bully tight end stacked this thing, but I didn't do any of that until round 6 on. I don't recommend anybody take 2 elite tight ends like McBride and Bowers. You won't fill your spots enough. But this is a unique way to do it. It's not for everybody. I believe enough in the depth of this fantasy football player pool this year that a lot of the players in this 8, 9, 10 round territory are so close to the players in the 11, 12 territory. I like smashing the hell out of this strategy quite a bit. Okay, let's get back over real quickly, and then we'll get to the super chats and then open the phone lines. Stetson Bennett, 300 yards. Again, take it with a grain of salt. To one degree, right? Because it's backups. I get it. It's not even his, starting wide receivers, but that's impressive. 324, 3 TDs, game-winning touchdown throw after an INT, bounce back from that. Just what a remarkable day. This right here is Emeka Egbuka. If you don't know who this man is, he's a Saturn man, I think, extraordinary. Mars man or Saturn?
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
Mars man extraordinaire. Man. And he catches this absolutely ridiculous touchdown catch in the end zone. Look at this grab right here. What an unbelievable throw, but what a more unbelievable catch. And Egbuka scores this TD, looks phenomenal. Guess who caught a touchdown pass as well? Yeah, his name is Bucky, and he's here to stay. Bucky Irving looked like a freaking monster catching this touchdown. Let me let you see this one more time. Bucky just snagging this nearly impossible to grab football, and Bucky scoring. We had Jeanty looking unbelievable in his debut, just steamrolling over the Niners and then punching at a touchdown. Jeanty looked phenomenal. This is that Egbuka grab that I was talking about. You can see the grab actually right here. Look at that grab by Egbuka. Egbuka to the moon. Let's do it live. Live. Bucky.
Let him cook.
Do it live. And then for those that missed the Hendy touchdown, look at this bad boy. Just elusive, slippery. Look at how the tackles walks in on his feet. He doesn't even get pulled down. I've never seen Gibbs and Henderson in the same room before. Have you? I don't think so. So what a day for a lot of the show players. And then, of course, our boy Charbonnet looking so elusive as well last night. Just slipping into the end zone. Real excited. Bucky, take a Bucky back.
Get buckied. 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 Oh, Bucky.
And I think it's very fitting that our Bucky video animation shower, if you will, taking a Bucky bath, is very, very similar to another running back. And I thought making these 2 videos in kind of similar fashion made a lot of sense because they're equally impacting league winners.
Taking it to the house every time he touches the football, baby. Taking it to the house every time he touches the football, baby.
That's right. That is right. Oh, I'm on autopilot. I timed out on the draft. Damn it. Damn it. Bigsby blue. Okay. It went off my but we're struggling at wide receiver a little bit, but that's fine. Okay. You know that's what's nice about having your list set. That it just goes straight off your list and no harm, no foul. Probably would have strongly considered those picks anyway. All right, let me get off auto. That's fantastic, honestly. So let me scroll back and look. I mean, I got him queued there for a reason. Bajan, Kyren, Blue, and Bigsby. I'm fine with that. And then Garrett Wilson, Rice, Hunter, Mahomes, Laporta, Nix, and Ingram feel fantastic. I don't think it missed a beat, actually. So let's swing back over to the news. Then I'll get these super chats out of the way. More super chats, any of them that come through. Any $20 haulers will immediately get put on the screen. DeBalt $20 hauler says, is the Hendy video sales still going? It certainly is, DeBalt. I will put you on there. Appreciate you doing that. DeBalt to the moon. DeBalt, I'll put that on there. $20 hauler video sale today. Today only. You want me to put that back up there? There we go.
Taking it to the house every time he touches the football, baby. Taking it to the house every time he touches the football, baby.
Thank you. Appreciate you, DeBalt. Any other $20 haulers will be not only answered immediately, okay? Thank you, DeBalt, for that. But I will get to these other super chats in just 1 second. Let me finish up with the news and what we have going on here. So Dart looked fantastic. As I said, this is great for Neighbors. He was 14 of 16, 137 and 2 TDs, 1 rushing, 1 passing, total TDs. It's looking good for Dart. Dart is not somebody I've been on that high on in the offseason. But I got to tell you, he's starting to look really good and he's coming into his own. So good on Dart, and I'm getting on the train that I didn't conduct there. I did not build the Dart train. I did not build that train. I'm going to admit that, and I'm never going to try and pretend I did. But, hey, it's August 16. It's never too late to get behind players, even if you don't conduct the trains from the beginning. It's called adjust and adapt, baby, and Dart looks pretty good. I'm really excited for Dart right now. The NFL proposal, we talked about this the other night. The proposal initially, according to Tom Pelissero, but we have still yet to get any confirmation from Rappaport, from Shefty, from other people, that the NFL wanted to hand a 10-game suspension to Rashee Rice, and the NFLPA said, hell no, we're not doing that. So we'll see you at the hearing. And so that's why Rice is available to play the first 4 games of the season. But keep in mind that they still could very well... what did I time out again? I think I timed out again. Why am I doing a draft during the news segment? Let's see what I got. Kyle Pitts. Oh, well, Trey Harris. We doubled up on. We got 3 tight ends out of the way. That's right. We're going to make this work. I'm fine with it. Trey Harris looked a little bit, rebounded today. He's been suffering a bunch of drops, but I definitely would have picked somebody else than Trey Harris right there. Kyle Pitts, I don't necessarily mind, but all right, let's see if somebody remind me that when I'm on the clock here. Let me take this and put it on the other screen. And that way I can keep an eye on it. Oh, boy. All right, here we go. Smitty, you're in a draft. Just remember you're in a draft, Smitty. We got a $20 hauler. I think maybe we want somebody wants to be on that. Yeah, put these other content creators to shame, Smitty. Let's get the Jeanty video. Oh, he wants to be on the Jeanty video. MTZ says, Smitty, give me the Jeanty video and let's do it live. You bet, son. You bet. We've got 2 versions of it. We got the short version and the long version. I'm going to assume you want the long version, pal.
Hey, are you currently sitting at home and wondering, why am I such a loser? Why do I not know how to get chicks? Well, There is a solution. Draft Achane Jeanty in your upcoming fantasy football drafts, and you'll immediately start growing hair on your chest. Those little testicles of yours will finally drop, and even though you still live in your mom's basement, you're going to immediately start getting hot chicks, all because you drafted Achane Jeanty. Now, do you want to be this guy? Hi, I'm worried William, and my mommy just warmed me up a Hot Pocket, and I've never even talked to a hot chick. Or this guy. Hey, I'm Dom, and I drive fast cars, get hot chicks, and draft Achane Jeanty double fist style with 2 cell phones at the same time. Why do I have 2 cell phones? One for looking up Achane Jeanty stats all day, the other is for getting chicks. Alright, put down the Hot Pocket petrified pita and start smashing Jeanty ADP, and watch less Thundercats reruns and more of the fantasy football show with Smitty, you bozo.
All right, we're going to time out here again. If I'm not careful, we'll go with Torrey Horton, which I love the pick, but we're kind of potentially behind on the wide receiver front because of the timeouts, which is, it's all right. I still think the team could be a good one. We got so far, if anybody wants to know the full squad looks like this. It's Bijan Robinson, it's Kyren Williams, Garrett Wilson, Rashee Rice, Travis Hunter, Mahomes, Laporta, Nix, Ingram, Blue, Bigsby, Harris. Hold on. Let's go with Pat Bryant. Looked pretty good. Let's go Pat Bryant. So I went with, after Bo Nix, Ingram, I went Blue, Bigsby, timed out. I timed out on Blue, Bigsby, Harrison, Pitts, all 4 in a row. But Horton and Bryant, I'm fine with that. I think we'll get Royals later, and I'll probably grab like Tesla. I think that those are actually pretty good receivers to have behind those guys. And I think Tesla is going to have some spike weeks. I think Bryant's looking really good. Horton's going to be a monster. Harris, I like them a lot, and right now I'm a little bit in kind of a questioning his ability to climb up this year and be impactful this year. Thank you for the super chats. Let me go ahead and fix this name again. I don't know why it does this every time I copy one of those. All right, we got a couple more $20 super chats. We got a fire sale going on for these videos, so we're gonna have to play all these videos for you guys. In a nutshell, I think we're pretty much done with the news. Thank you again, MTZ. Appreciate you with dropping that $20 holler. Bennett, we went over Bennett. Rashee Rice. Oh, so my thinking with Rashee Rice, for those that want to know what's going on with Rashee Rice, I think honestly that they're going to come to us. There's a strong likelihood they're going to come to a settlement before week 1, and he'll end up serving a suspension at the start of the year. But if they can't come to a settlement and the league's like, we're standing firm on, let's just call it 8 games, 7 games, 10 games, whatever, and the NFLPA is saying, no, this is like a 1 to 4 game suspension. This is an unprecedented amount of games for something where there's no repeat offender. There's no alcohol proven to be involved. And so, hard to say what side's going to end up being the more, I guess you could say, right side on this in terms of projecting or expecting a number of games. NFL, and who knows if the NFL really was even saying 10 games, because it's only coming from Tom Pelissero. So kind of wild if you ask me. All right, let's hit these other super chats real quickly. MTZ, appreciate you dropping that wad, my boy. Joseph says, Smitty, let me cook. Slap me on that video. Which one do you want, Joseph? Because we played a couple of them, so at this point I don't know which one. So I'm going to leave you right there till you answer that question. $20 hauler here. Hendy to the moon. Could you please put me on the Hendy video? Abso-mother-freaking-lutely. Let me see if Joseph wants to be on there as well, so I can drop you guys both at the same time. And this one here, can I get on the Hendy video? All 3 of you? We got 4 people on the brand new Hendy video. Is that what we want? Joseph, let me know. And then I'll go to these other super chats. I see Scotty Do. I see Channel Lift. I see DJ. I've got Coble. I've got, let's see here. D-Mouth, I appreciate you. And then Joseph, thank you again. And Sizzle, and then Aaron. So let me know, Joseph, which one you want. He says, let him cook video. Oh, that's what you're saying. Let him cook video. Yes, Joseph, I can do that. Let me put you on that video, bro. All right, Joseph wants to be on the let him cook video. That's a good one to have, bro. We press that probably more than anything.
Let him cook.
Thank you, Joseph. You are there, young man. You and Johnny are sitting there as bunk bed mates. Bunk beds, baby. Bunk beds. Do it live. And then the 2 Hendy videos. We got another one from Sean. Rock out. Appreciate your super chat. Day 24, he says. 12,000 steps. Rock out. That's amazing, bro. That is amazing. Keep it up. If anybody else wants to join in on the challenge, I'll explain it in a little bit. But we're trying to choose opening day as a day to complete some sort of challenge from here on out. Can I get the Let Him Cook video? It also says Sean. Sean wants on the Let Him Cook video. Let's do it live. Let me put Sean on that one. All right, Sean, 1 second. The challenge, just pick any sort of, like, do you want to eat better? Do you want to work out every day? Do you want to do 100 push-ups a day? Do you want to, stop, I don't know, drafting too much? whatever you want your goal to be.
Let him cook.
Thank you, Sean. Appreciate you. And then you two gentlemen, Jay and Lewis, you want to go over to the other video, don't you? You want to head on over to the Hendy video. I can make that happen. Lewis, I'm just going to make this shorter. So Lewis, and then who is the other one that wants it? It's Jay. Jay, my boy. Jay wants on that video too. All right, you gentlemen will be on the Hendy video. Then I'm going to go to the rest of the super chats and then the phone lines.
Taking it to the house every time he touches the football, baby. Taking it to the house every time he touches the football, baby.
That timeout again? I can't do a draft during the news. This is why I don't draft during the news stuff. You know, I always tell people I don't draft during news segments. I can't. This is why. I just timed out again. What did I get? You ever see that content creator? He's got really good songs, but he just lets his teams auto draft. He got it. So Tesla, I did want. Woody Marks, I don't mind that, but I need to slow down on the RBs. I think I'm good to go at RB. We're up in 12 picks. This is round 18. And we need well, I guess we're done. We just need a quarterback. So we'll go. I mean, I guess we don't necessarily need a quarterback. They're both by week 10 and 12, Mahomes and Bo Nix. So maybe we just go with another wide receiver since we're kind of a little light at wide receiver. Who do we like? Yoshi Voss? I like Yoshi. Oh, Royals. Royals is the guy. Royals is the ticket. There, we'll time out on Royals. I got him queued up. I think we're done. Let's answer super chats, and then we'll head toward the phone line. Scotty Dude dropped this. Scotty, I'll open the phone lines in a minute too. Scotty Dude, thank you for your super chat. He says, got offered Bucky and Mason for my Jeanty. I mean, as much as I love Bucky, bro, and I'm not going to crap on this because of how much I love Bucky, but you got to go with Jeanty, bro. I mean, you can't let what was influencing people a few hours ago, like the last week, people have been freaking out on Jeanty all of a sudden, and it's been ridiculous. If anybody comes in and starts freaking out about somebody like after week 1, like, what are we doing with Hunter? He had 30 yards. We need to remind people about the Achane Jeanty gate, because Achane Jeanty gate was Adam. Thank you for the lifetime membership on the Fantasy Football Show, bro. I see it. I see you, bro. Adam, are you in the chat, bro? Let us know. Appreciate you. I'll give you a standing ovation for that one. I've got to remind people about Achane Jeanty gate. What a ridiculous thing for people to freak out about. Rather have Sutton or Adams in Dynasty? Probably Adams, bro, because Sutton's not like a spring chicken, bro. You might get, even if you don't get, more than the 1 year, it's like you might not get an elite player in Sutton for like 3 years or anything like that. Shop Kittle around if I have Ingram on the bench. I would, sure. I would shop Kittle around especially if it's a dynasty. Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Sizzle, for that. I mean, come back with a couple offers. I mean, players I'm trying to get, Harvey by giving up something, et cetera, et cetera. Hunter, people freaking out about Hunter. Hunter now has a small injury that they're just monitoring, and people are like, "Oh, see, he can't hold up." They're not even hitting. Like these guys are gonna have little injuries from running too much, working out too much. He's literally just trying to get in the best shape he's ever been in. When you're a rookie, you're trying to become something special. But it's crazy that people are like attributing this to playing both sides of the football. He's not taking hits yet. He's not like getting massively hit, or he hadn't been. It's like he's been wearing down yet. They just started contact. 6 point. I mean, obviously they played a preseason game, but people are wild. He played a very small amount. He's not taking full hits all game long, is my point. And it's just insane. But good news is I think Hunter's ADP might drop. 6 point TD pass Superflex, 2 PPR tight end premium, 9th pick 2 Bowers, Mahomes, or McBride. In a 2 point tight end premium, I do tend kind of lean Bowers here because you could get Bowers and Knicks maybe. And Penix Jr. and Cam Ward are still league winners in Superflex. But when you throw in that tight end premium and it's a full point, I think it does come down to Bowers and McBride being slightly more valuable than Mahomes. But then I like Bo Nix next if you can pull that off. So thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Channel, appreciate your super chat. Where do I take Hendy in leagues with Pats fans? That is not something I'm going to be able to answer very easily, bro. I would just say expect him to go in the 3rd round at the end. Try and not take him at 3.1. I think it's probably not smart business to take him at 3.1. Anything like late 3rd to like where it's almost like you could consider it your 4th round pick because it's a 3-4 turn. I smashed the hell out of that. If Hendy's ADP climbs there, then I would take him. I'd take him at 3.1 if his ADP climbed there. But I think you're really, but if you can't trade, I understand. You want him. I get it. I understand where you're at. But I would try and get him in the 3rd round. Do not do anything stupid like the 2nd round yet. You don't need to do that. Smitty, I have pick 10 in a 12-man PPR. You think Jeanty will be there? One person doesn't draft in the 1st round. I don't think so after today. I think you would have, but at the 10 pick, it's hard to imagine that being the case in like a keeper league. But maybe. I mean, his ADP is around 10, 11, 12. In a league that I'm in, he wouldn't make it there, but I guess you have a shot, but it's probably not a great shot at this point. He's coming off a huge game, bro. People are going to be amped about it. And it's not huge in terms of like, played a whole game, but just getting that rebound effect. It's going to ease everyone's mind that was maybe thinking, well, wait a minute. Panic Peter here. Anything positive to say about Breece Hall? The split with Allen looks very concerning, especially if Davis keeps getting into sprinkled. Look, Breece Hall is a receiving monster, bro. Breece Hall is going to catch you 70 footballs. Braylon Allen's not doing that. So you just got to understand that Hall's probably not going to run for 1,200 yards. Hall's going to have that Kamara or Christian McCaffrey kind of season where they need someone to run for probably 1,000 yards on the ground that is not Breece Hall. They need Breece Hall to probably run for 600, 700 yards and catch 700 yards. He's the kind of guy that's going to get more yards than Braylon Allen, sum total. It depends on the panic is so bad that if you're in upcoming drafts, it's all baked in. You're going to get Breece Hall falling to like late 4, top of 5 now because of all the panic. But am I still really, really liking the upside of his, the fact that he could be a top 5 running back, but at a much, lower cost than that? Yeah, I love that. Now, if you drafted Breece Hall in a dynasty a long time ago and you haven't been getting the returns, I can understand where you're a little bit panicked right now. But if you drafted him in the 4th round or later, there's nothing to worry about. He's going to earn you that. And if he doesn't, that means they're going to trade him, and then he will once he goes somewhere else. So I'm not too worried about it, to be honest with you. Not where you probably bought him. If you're taking him in round 2 or 3, then it was a little bit early, and you should have been taking advantage of the ADP. But I'm not worried at your 4th or later draft value, ADP. That cost of entry he can easily return on. And he still has, even if people are worried, he still has some of the best potential returns of any player drafted, after round 2. What's your take on Seattle tight end room in Dynasty? Arroyo is quite talented and has 2nd round draft capital, but Barner showed to be very capable. I think Arroyo's the future. I think anything can happen, and we've been amped up on players and then gotten a little bit, their values got a little soured. Case in point, look at Trey Harris and how Trey Harris kind of fell off, and he looks pretty good today, but he's been dropping a lot of football, so anything can turn really quickly with these rookies. But I think it's Arroyo. Arroyo's still the guy I want, and I still take him in in best ball. I don't take him in non-best ball, but I take him in redraft best ball, like at the end. Non-sexy late night Dynasty question. Need to drop 4 for my final roster. What are your bottom 4? Beck, Hollywood, Gesicki, Mostert, Dell, Goddard, Hopkins. Hopkins I'm cutting. Unfortunately, I'm cutting Dell. I'm cutting Mostert, even though I think he could get run, but he's not going to hold up. If he was ever called upon to become useful, he would last almost, no more than 1 game. And then I'm probably saying, so Hopkins, Mostert, Dell. I'd probably drop Gesicki for now, but I do like him. If you don't need Hollywood, you could drop Hollywood. I think Hollywood could be somewhat productive in spots, but I don't know that it'll be consistent. So I guess I would say Gesicki if you don't need that tight end spot. $50 hauler from Branberry. Fantastic, my boy. Fantastic.
Give me $50 hauler.
Branberry to the moon. He says, I'm about to draft in a dynasty startup. Need advice on when to draft rookies throughout the draft, beginning and end. Appreciate the content, Smitty. I'd like to be on the Let 'em Cook video. Attaboy. That I can do, Branberry. That I can do, and I can do it live right now. Appreciate you dropping the $50 wad. Phone lines are close to being open, so just hang tight, guys. Almost there. Branberry needs his video. Let's do it.
Let him cook.
Thank you, Branberry. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Joseph, for being on that one. That's one of the more entertaining ones, and we play it so much. You're going to get a lot of use out of that. As for where to draft rookies, let me just give you a real quick general overview, because there's no real way to do this in a short amount of time like this. I would just say, like, looking at this board, Hendy's clearly climbed into 3. I'm really thank you, Nick, for buying the fantasyfootballshow.com membership. I see you right here, my boy. I'm going to shout out anybody that's dropping that. And if you're in the chat right now, let me know. The other individual that just grabbed one, who was that? That was Adam. So let me see if Adam's in here. Adam, are you in here? Adam, if you're in here, you just grab that lifetime membership. And then Nick, if you're in here, I appreciate you, Nick. Let me know if you're in here and I'll shout you out. Let me just give you a standing ovation now anyway. Just appreciate you both.
Mashed potatoes!
All right. So in general, Branberry, I would say I'm not scared to draft as many rookies as I can get my hands on, because rookies are such good performers, bro. They're year in and year out. And so if we're talking about Jeanty in round 1 now, he's going to probably creep right back up to here. You're talking about Hampton in round 3. Hendy, I'd rather have Hendy over Hampton, though. Honestly, if push came to shove and you had to take one in round 3, I'm taking Hendy. You've got Hunter's still in 5-6. It depends on where you're drafting. He tends to go more right around this area. Harvey's kind of on the verge. I have no problem drafting Ibuka in 6-7. In grandma leagues, he goes 7. In best ball, he goes 6. I have no problem scooping up I don't care if I'm taking Lamb, Bucky, or Jeanty, Bucky, Hendy, Rice in 5, wherever. But Harvey, Hunter, and Jeanty and Hendy could all be on my team. This is where these guys are going. And I'm taking Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt in double-digit rounds. I'm taking guys like Mims and Pat Bryant if I need a wide receiver to go with my Bo Nix, for example. I love Tyler Warren in near double-digit rounds. But right here, this board should give you an idea of where I'm drafting these guys. Hendy, Hampton, Jeanty in 1. You're trying to get Hunter in 6-7. Count your ADP and see where he's going to fall. You're trying to get Ibuka in 7 if possible, or in 6. You're trying to get Harvey as close to 6 as you can, but you take him in 5. That should give you a good barometer of where my mind's at in a redraft setting. Branbury, appreciate you. Now in a dynasty setting, Branbury, did you say yours was dynasty? Because it will alter it a little bit. Let's see. Dynasty. Okay, it's dynasty startup. Yes, Branbury. I'm sorry. So dynasty, I'd probably say Jeanty goes up to the top 5. I'd probably say, and you might still find that people are drafting these guys similar to redraft. It's weird how some dynasty startups are different than others. If Hendy climbs into the late second, I'd take him. If you have to take Hendy in the middle of the second in a dynasty, I'd take him. If you got to take Hampton at the 3.1 or the 2.10, I would take him. Hunter probably doesn't climb much. Harvey probably goes in maybe 4-5 instead of 5-6. And, it's kind of all the same. Ibuka probably goes in 5. And I'm not scared to make any of those calls. If you have a follow-up, Branbury, let me know. But Hendy's going to be tough because you just got to look at that ADP. And you also have to... Is anybody drafted recently in a dynasty startup that can tell me since today's game? I doubt anybody's drafted like right after the game or during the game. But can anybody with any sort of dynasty league give me an idea if they've even heard of somebody that might have drafted after the game and where Hendy might have went? I don't think we're going to have a lot of examples of that. But we just don't really have a lot of information. So kind of hard to say, my boy. Branbury, appreciate you dropping that super chat. You are the man, the myth, the legend. Rag, appreciate your super chat. Hey, Smitty, Hendy or Walker? What do you think I'm going to say, Rag? And I'm not trying to rag on you on this, but what do you think I'm going to say? Like, come on, man. The answer's Hendy by a country mile. I like Walker, but Walker doesn't stand a chance of getting drafted by me anywhere near Hendy. Anywhere near. Hendy is a guy that could be a top 5 running back. Not saying Walker couldn't be, but we're not counting on that. We're kind of getting to the point where we're expecting Hendy to be in the 5 to 10 range. I appreciate you as well, Big Papa. I appreciate you. To the moon. To the moon, my boy. Should I reach for Drake at the 1.8? I don't mind this and take Bucky in the second round. I don't mind this combo at all. London and Bucky is some of the best, 1-2 punching you can do in rounds 1 and 2. Don't hate it at all. The second, knowing that if I go running back in the first, Drake won't fall. I'm fine with it. Just make sure you feel confident that you're going to be able to pull that off. Because, in a way, I'd rather almost have you have Garrett Wilson in the 3rd round than miss out on Bucky. This one here went Hampton heavy. So he leads the HHH and Associates this year. Went Hampton heavy, so I hope he leads. He's not going to lead. I mean, he could, but I think the reason I have Hendy
call HHH
in the middle,
Associates.
Triple H and Associates.
And the reason why
on Earth and Jupiter.
I've told you all year that Hendy's, I like Hendy more than Hampton, but to get both of them, you've had to have drafted Hampton first, to play the ADP game. But Hendy's my number 1 running back from this HHH and Associates board. And I think Hendy is pretty much tied with Jeanty in my mind from Dynasty. It's just a matter of, you're trying to get away with what you can get away with. So ADP and the order of drafting is very dependent on what you can get away with. That's why we're going to draft Jeanty over Hendy. Draft Monday. Can I get a breakdown of a few of your favorite 1.9 to 2.2 combos in the 10-team redraft options? Achane Bucky. I like Achane Bucky. I like Jeanty Bucky. I like Jeanty Achane. Those are probably my favorites. And because it's a 10-man, you're going to get Garrett Wilson. You're going to get Hunter. You're going to get Debo. You're at least getting Garrett Wilson, Hunter, Debo as your 3 receivers. And to me, that's fire. So I'm going to potentially go 3 RB straight, or at least 2. That's just the way I tend to go, but best player available will open that door for me. And if you don't get 2 of those running backs, which I think you will, then London would be my replacement in that second round. And London would be there if those running backs were not. Otherwise, that wouldn't be able to pencil out. Are we taking, thank you all day with the $10 hauler, are we finally accepting taking Hendy over Hampton? Finally accepting? What do you mean? You mean like, I've had Hendy over him, but you mean, are we finally... As a group, okay, I think you just mean as a group, are we finally saying that we no longer can get away with it and we have to take Hendy or we lose him? Yes. Yeah, so it's a good point if that's what you're saying. If I don't pull the trigger on him at 2.10, he's going to be gone by 3.3. That I don't know if I'm on board with yet, though. I am and I'm not. Like, I don't want you guys... You guys walk out of your drafts with Hendy in round 2 in redraft settings. You're really pulling the trigger too early, bro. Because the ADP is just not there yet. Look at the draft that I just did here. You know, even though I auto-drafted in a couple of the picks on accident. Maybe like half of them. Look at Hendy's ADP here, bro. This is in a pretty sharp environment, and he went 4.1. I know you think it's going to be different in your environment, but I don't know, bro. Chat, don't you agree that he's pulling the... This is a anxious Angus right here. Don't take that offensively all day. But don't you guys think that trying to draft him at 2.10 is you making up in your head maybe that this is unless you're in New England, that this is going to be something where like, oh no, when I get to my draft, he's not going to be available. My league's still laughing in the chat. I went back into my buddy league and I said, Hendy's going to be a top 5 running back. You guys should have grabbed him. I'm talking shit in there. And they're all laughing at the comment. I don't think people are as accepting of this potential telegraph that is Trey Henderson as we think they are. Chat, don't you think he's reaching to get him at 2.10? I think you're leaving a lot of meat on the bone, bro. I'm going to say no on that. Wait till at least your 3rd round pick. Goff, Jacobs, Hall, Lamb, Evans, Bowers, Connor, running back flex, bench, Fields, Richardson, Tua, Garendo, Scat. How do I get a better QB also playing super flex? You're going to go after Milroe on the cheap, see if he's on waivers. You're going to try and trade for Penix Jr. or Cam Ward on the cheap. I think those are 2 quarterbacks that make a lot of sense. Goff is not my favorite QB. I love Fields, though. Fields is your starter. Goff is your second quarterback, if you want my honest opinion. But those aren't bad. But to upgrade Goff into a Mahomes, in this order, Mahomes preference, Bo Nix next, Penix Jr., then Cam Ward, I think you could get rid of potentially a like a Jacobs for a Harvey. You could have done a Jacobs for Hendy before today. You could have said, hey, I'll give you Jacobs. Maybe still try it. Still try it to upgrade your quarterback or to get any other piece to then use to upgrade the quarterback. Try and downgrade Jacobs into Hendy. And if you do Jacobs for Harvey, try and get something significant and see if you can do a Goff quarterback upgrade. That's where I'm going to start with this, bro. And I think it's possible. This one here from Aaron. Aaron says, just had my draft tonight. What do you think of my team? Dak, Penix Jr., Jeanty, Achane, Bucky, Blue, Lamb, Hunter, Garrett Wilson, Rice. This is a grandma league, 10-man. 10. This is an 8 corpse league. You went to the funeral home and you started a league and just started handing out, draft cards to people. This is insane. If I was you, I'd message the league and just say, everybody pay half of the entry fee now to me and we can redraft and all have a good year. Otherwise, you're just not going to have any fun. That's a crazy team, bro. Fantastic. So crazy, it's like, how do I even critique that? Do you make any trades? No, you don't. You just sit on it. You just let that glory fester and manifest. 12-team PPR, Mahomes, Penix Jr., Jeanty, Hampton, Harvey, Ray Davis, Blue Neighbors, Travis Hunter, Buka, Mims, Kyle Williams, Ingram. Love the team. Don't even think you need to do anything, to be honest with you. Your quarterbacks are fantastic. Jeanty, Hampton, Harvey's fantastic. Love Neighbors, Travis Hunter, Igbuka. Love that. There's nothing I want you to even trade. I want you to keep Ingram. I want you to keep this entire team. There's nobody I want you to trade or downgrade, except for if you were to go like Neighbors to BTJ to get a huge like Harvey. I know you got him already, but Harvey type player added. You know, if you're going to take... yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. Neighbors for BTJ or Neighbors for London to get even Mahomes into Josh Allen if you felt like that. That is something you could do. Past that, there's nothing to do with that team. That team is magnificent. We've got over 521 people here on YouTube. If you're new, this is your new one-stop shop. I go live whenever news breaks, whenever big news breaks, I go live. I'm also additionally live every Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. I'm also additionally live like tonight, almost every single midnight. That's how we roll on the channel. That's how Dad did it. It's how America does it, and it's worked out pretty good so far. And then this last super chat, for now at least, and I'll keep answering them as fast as they come in. There's another one I have to go to that, and then we'll go to the phone lines. Rate my team: QB, Nixon, Fields, running back, Bucky and Jeanty, Harvey, Blue, London, Garrett Wilson, Rice, Worthy, and Pearsall, tight end, Kyle Pitts, 10-man PPR trades. I like your team. Bucky and Jeanty and Harvey, you just can't get better than that. London, Garrett Wilson, Rice, and Worthy. The fact that you have Rice and Worthy together makes me not want to do anything there. I like this team. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it, bro. This is a solid squad. I don't even want to get rid of Nix. I don't want to get rid of Kyle Pitts. I think he's going to have a good year. I think this is a fantastic squad, bro. Would I maybe try and get like Penix Jr. for Fields just to get that Kyle Pitts stack going for fun? Just because it might be fun to watch? Sure. Would I sell high on Pearsall right now to upgrade something? Yeah, but what? Maybe if you got Nix turned into like one of the big four quarterbacks using Pearsall. That's the only thing I can think of. Past that, you're sitting on that at least 8 out of 10 team. At least 8. And if you were maybe able to, like, let's say, I don't know, bro, get that one waiver wire player off waivers or make that trade I just suggested, it goes into the 9 territory. I just don't give out a lot of 9s. I once did, but now I don't. 9s are something that even if you said 10-man league like that guy did and you hand that to me, that's not a 9 to me. That's a 8.9. It's one of the best teams you've probably seen tonight, but it is a 10-man league. And actually, you know what? That guy gets a 9. That other team gets a 9. That 10-man league I just talked about, that's going to get a 9. That deserves a 9. It doesn't matter if it's grandma's. It's a 9 team. So I'll give that a 9, but I rarely give out 9s. Smitty, pick 7 in a 12-man league. 0.5. Start 2 wide receivers, 1 running back, 2 flex. Should I take Jeanty or Jetta's, Neighbors, or Nico? I go Jeanty. I go Jeanty. Pick 7. You should have London there. And if not, I think you get Garrett Wilson in 3. And I think Garrett Wilson's kind of a saving grace pick for people that go RB. And if Bucky falls to you, you take him and you go double RB, Jeanty, Bucky. You know, if you had to take Garrett Wilson like early and you're in panic mode, I would even kind of understand. But I think you could get him in like round. It depends. Sometimes you can get him at 4. You know, I got him at 5 in my 10-man league. Hampton Henderson with McCaffrey in the first pick and a 10-man. Nico at the turn. What do I think? I love it. I don't like McCaffrey. If it was me, I'd be trading McCaffrey away to get something else. I mean, you could technically go get maybe a Lamb or something. That's what I would try and do. Nico, Lamb with Hampton and Henderson. Or maybe you go get like a Harvey and, you know, London type combo. That would be even better. Try and target London. And maybe if you like Christian McCaffrey, just let it ride. I'm not here to talk you out of drafting Christian McCaffrey. That's on you, but that's what I would do.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Everybody's got their own thing. I'm not mad at anybody for wanting to, you know, go in a certain direction. You do what you got to do. Gavin, what's up? You're live.
I have the 4th pick in one of my drafts, and I was wondering if you take Hendy at 3.4.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me merge these calls. And mute yourself if you could. I'll be right with you, my pal. My buddy, old pal. Let me get this guy here. Hey, mute yourself as well while you're waiting. I'll be right there with you, pal. All All right, let's see if I can merge these guys. I think one of those was Travis. Okay. All right. Let's see here. 3.4. Yeah, I'm not afraid of 3.4. I'm just not. I think that's okay. I think the 2.10 was too early. Travis, did you see what the chat said on when I asked that question? I didn't really look. Did everybody say don't do 2.10? I just think that's crazy.
Yeah, for the most part, I think people are saying it's still a reach. And it is. I mean, even in a league with Patriots fans, if a Patriots fan is going to reach for him, let him reach for him. There's other players. It sucks because he's an exciting player. He's the guy in the moment right now, but you got to draft your team, to win.
Yeah, I just can't. I can't get behind. This 2.10 is just too early. The 3.4 I don't mind, but my answer is still going to be, Gavin, who's on the board when you can't just say, yeah, that's what you do. What if there's a player here that shouldn't be here? You got to give me more options than Hendy 3.4 and just say, trust me, bro, I got to take him here or I'm going to lose him. Mute yourself real quick, caller. I'll be right with you. So
late third. The other people around 3.4 like Hampton or Garrett Wilson.
I don't mind this. Here's what I'm going to say, bro. Who's going to fall to your 4th round pick?
I could probably get Rice or Harvey.
Okay, so give me your first. Let's do this on the board real quick, and I gotta hurry with this one because I got a lot of calls and super chats will become flowing in here. I got a $20 hauler from Healing who wants to be on the what video is that? Bucky video. I don't blame you. Who doesn't want to take a Bucky bath every time we punch that button? All right, give me your who are you taking in round 1, bro? Just give me a ballpark. Okay, so Gibbs in round 1. Let's put Gibbs on the board here. Gibbs in round 1. And I can't believe how close the season is. There's so many things I need to do between now and kickoff. And I feel like I'm just losing time. All right, who are you taking in round 2?
Bucky, if he falls.
I don't blame you. I mean, who wouldn't take Bucky? It's a dumb question. I'm sorry I even asked it. Okay, who are you? So in 3, you're taking Hendy. This is a 10-man or a 12?
Yeah. 12.
So you could be playing with fire a little bit in a 12. It depends on your league. So you're thinking you're going to be able to get Rice, who could be suspended for a big part of the year. You almost can't make him your number 1 wide receiver in this scenario. It would be kind of playing with fire. Mm-hmm. So who else are you looking at here? Could Garrett Wilson fall?
To the 4, probably not.
Okay, he fell to 5 in mine, but mine was the one I just did was a 10. But that means you probably go to 4.
The people around there would be DK.
What about JSN? More. What about JSN?
Not to the end of the 4th.
Someone's got to fall to the 4th.
Yeah, I mean, you're MHJ. I mean, you can't. Everybody can't.
MHJ maybe. I don't.
Okay, so if you come away, and I kind of think you're going to get Rice in 5, and I don't mind that. It's a little bit of a gamble.
You could even get him at 5.
You could even go Worthy in 4, Rice in 5. I mean, it's not bad. It's kind of wild.
Isn't that bad to stack people?
No, not when one may miss as much time as Rice could miss. Maybe let's call it 6 games, just to be completely. One could say 10 to 8. I'm not going there. I think it's going to be 6. If it's 6 games, let's say, then that means Worthy's going to ball out, and then when Rice comes back, Worthy's still a weapon, bro. And I don't know. It's kind of a safe move. But MHJ Rice would be fire. And then my guess is you could probably get Hunter at the next pick if you wanted, especially with the injury now. I think it's not even a big injury. It's just everyone's freaking out. Oh, I knew he couldn't play both sides of the ball. He got hurt already off of his minimal reps. This would be fire. I would love this team. Mm-hmm. I'd be fine with you reaching. And here's the thing, though. Listen to what I'm about to say, because this is the most important thing you're going to hear, okay? And then I got 2 super chats from Scotty, and then the other one from Nature. So I'll answer your 2 super chats in a second, boys. Hang tight. This is the most important thing you're going to hear from me, bro, okay? Yeah. You need to make sure that the player you grab in this 4th round is worthy of taking with your 3.4. You need to say, I was about to take that guy at 3.4 and he fell to me. If you do that, the Hendy reach doesn't matter. You erased it. This is one of the most important things I could tell somebody, because what ends up happening when someone makes a move like this and they reach for Hendy here, or they make a trade for an extra third rounder and then they botch it by taking a player that could have won in the 4th or 5th round. If you take a player, if you land a player that you could genuinely argue deserves to be at the 3.4, you erase the reach, bro. The reach around never happened. But no pause needed. You're erasing it. Something many other people would love to have said, and you get to say it. So MHJ would be one of those players. He qualifies as a very, very arguable 3rd round player. JSN will qualify. Garrett Wilson will qualify. You grab a wide receiver that should go around 3, then the reach you performed here, the reach around that you performed here, will make you come out on top here. Nope, that pause might be needed there, but not in the other cases. I don't care. This one, maybe. All right, bro, I got to go to the other callers. Gavin, call back if you got another one. Appreciate you. Let me get to these super chats real quickly. All right. All right. So the first one is this massive $20 hauler from AZ Healing, coming in strong, my boy. You're a fellow Arizonian, I take it, and I might have asked you that question before, and I apologize that I don't remember. But my boy, appreciate you. Bucky video, it is.
Get buckied. 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 Oh, Bucky.
Yeah.
Thank you, Healing, for that super chat. You're a man, a dude, a legend. Appreciate you. Scotty Doo, also one of the bros here that's constantly always supporting from Hawaii. He's our Hawaiian Island tsunami correspondent. Did you skip my super chat? No! Come on, my boy, I did not. Let me go back and re-answer it because you had to take a potty break, Scotty Doo. Scotty Doo says, got offer Bucky and Mason for Jeanty. No, I crapped all over this idea. I like Bucky a lot, but you can't do that trade. I like Bucky a lot. I do. And part of me's, I don't know. Am I not? I love Bucky. I love Bucky. I love him. I love him, bro. But Jeanty is still like out of this world type of player. And he could literally be the number 1 running back in the National Football League. I'm not saying Bucky can't be like 3 or 4. That's what makes this a hard question to actually answer. Travis, do you agree or disagree? Do you actually like Bucky near as much? I mean, I want to say I do, but at the end of the day, like, it's long. Go ahead.
It's Jeanty. I mean, pretty easy for me.
Yeah, it's not that I don't.
Bucky too. I don't want to act like I don't like Bucky.
Yeah, I don't even like how this is sounding. You know what I mean? I don't even like it. I hate that he's putting me in a box.
Jeanty's that rare and generational guy that that can climb into the Bijan territory, have that 8 years of dominance type stuff, and Bucky could do it too, but you don't automatically expect he's going to have 8 years as a top 10 back. Jeanty is that guy that can step in and do that.
Yeah, I like Branberry. He's bringing in the super chats, the energy, the fire. Appreciate you, Branberry. Branberry, I like this guy. Smitty, here's my 12-team PPR: Knicks, Achane, Jeanty, Hunter, Nakua, Ingram, JMO. Bench is Davis, Harvey. Oh, man, I hate seeing Harvey in the bench. I got Harvey in the bench in my 10-man league. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm sitting here just like looking at, and my league mates really don't know. They don't know. They literally think my bench is trash. I've got Harvey, Debo, Book on the bench. They're like, yeah, that's a rookie. You like rookies. If you're not a rookie, you can't be on Smitty's team. That's what the going joke is on in my chat. They don't have no idea that this team's about to, smash them into oblivion. It's so weird. It feels weird that they don't know. Smitty, here's my team. So I like Knicks, Achane, Jeanty, Hunter, and Kua. I like it. Really good team, bro. I want you to get Harvey in the lineup somehow, but it seems to me, yeah, you can. You could trade JMO and maybe, or you just keep that depth and go JMO and Harvey, and you feel really good about it. I'm almost be tempted to say I don't want to trade anyone except for if you're trading Akua to get like a Lamb somehow or to get Jamar Chase. I would be very intrigued by that proposition. And then you're maybe using potentially JMO, and you could do a 2 for 2 so you're not feeling completely ripped off if JMO goes crazy. But that's the only thing I would do. Look, I would trade Puka Nacua and JMO for Chase or Lamb. I would. Especially in that league where it feels like you're going to have some good depth. Rockout, appreciate you. Says check DMs. I will do that. Rockout, thank you for dropping that super chat, my man. Rock out to the moon. And then one more super chat, I believe, and then we're off to the races on the phone line again. But I'll answer super chats in order in which they're received. Superflex Dynasty sent Hurts and a first for Lamar. No, you got Allen. I don't think so. I mean, I do worry about Hurts a couple years from now being the same player, but I think giving up a first rounder, Lamar runs a lot. You know, there's injury risk there. I don't know that you're getting rid of some of the risk that Lamar comes with because of how much he runs. I think it's too much. Does anybody in the chat disagree? And then Travis, what do you think on that one? And then I'll go to the phone callers.
Yeah, I think it's too much. I saw a couple people in the chat earlier when he was asking the chat saying it's a little too much.
You know what I'm trying to do is go get Bo Nix and like a Harvey. You know, go get 2 players. Don't do this thing. Do a downgrade from Hurts into a player that might be as good as Hurts. Go get Mahomes and a Harvey.
Yeah.
Something like that versus going in the other direction.
Like the show you did this offseason.
Yeah. All right, let me go over to Matthew. Matthew, you're live, and then over to the 484 caller who's waiting patiently. And I think 4 or 5 people hung up because it took too long. Matthew, go ahead. You're live. Hello?
Smitty, can you hear me?
I can now.
My feed wasn't coming through. My bad, brother.
What's up?
I got a question regarding Travis Hunter and his eligibility. I think we've touched on this in the past a little bit. I don't know if you have a ton of time on this. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you for now until I hit the hang up button, but go ahead.
Do we fully know what Travis Hunter, how his scoring is going to be across the platforms? Because I've heard multiple things. I've heard you go on ESPN and you draft him and it has a little wide receiver and a cornerback, but if it's not an IDP league, then they're not going to count his interception. You need to check your scoring. This isn't up for debate. Like, it's something that none of us know what's going on. You know what's going on by your scoring, by your league. This is not something you have to even question. You should know. Go into your scoring projections, see where Travis Hunter ranks. If it's not IDP, you need to make sure that you're getting points for defensive touchdowns or any touchdown. So he gets 6 points if he scores a touchdown on defense. He's probably not going to get any, obviously, other points if it's a non-IDP league. If it's an IDP league, there are some IDP leagues that are not scoring Travis Hunter very high, and there's other IDP leagues that have Hunter going in the number 1 overall wide receiver spot. He's scoring over every single running back and wide receiver in all of fantasy as you start him as a wide receiver because of the defensive scoring. This is not ambiguous. It's widely known what is going to happen across every single league because you can go into your scoring. Like, I can't control what your scoring says. I don't know what your scoring says. But it's very easy. The easiest thing to do is go in your projections, bro. Where is he being projected? Because the projections are off of scoring. ADP or... No, go to stats. Go to stats and sort by projections. It's going to project off of your scoring. I see. All right, I'll look. I was more asking, do you know what the default, like if some guy just makes a
No,
a normal
all different.
ESPN PPR. Okay.
They're all different. I believe on sleep ESPN. From what I remember, when the report came out, ESPN defaults into allowing him to score defensive touchdowns in non-IDP leagues. I believe ESPN made that determination as default. You have to manually go in and change it. I don't know about Yahoo, and I know Sleeper. You have to turn it on. I don't know if they changed that, and I don't want to speak to it because they may have changed it, but that's kind of where we're looking at. But bro, you're not, you got to look at it. You got to do the research on it by going just simply to your league scoring and reading it. Do a quick Google search or whatever on your particular ESPN league or whatever, and ask your commissioner. I mean, that's what your commissioner is there for. Say, hey, is Travis Hunter going to get a touchdown scored on defense for me? I mean, this is not that we. Yeah. All right, I gotta go, bro. This is old news, bro. I cannot. Ziggy, stop! Ziggy, stop! This is old news. I mean, we're wasting time talking about this. This is so widely known. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hang up on you, but we gotta roll. 484, you're live. What's your name and where you calling from?
What's up, Smitty? It's Eddie from Philly. I'm not sure if you got me in your phone line, but it's Eddie from Philly.
Eddie from Philly, and what is your area code again?
484.
484. Okay, Eddie from Philly. 484. Got it. 484. Eddie from Philly. Got it.
Just drafted a 12-man.
Yes, sir.
Half PPR. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I went JJ McCarthy, Achane, Hampton, CD, Garrett, Kraft, Worthy, and my bench is Braylon, Hendy, Charbonnet, Ibuka, Addison, and I picked up Alex.
Whoa. You have Hendy on your bench. Name your starting running backs again.
I have Achane, Hampton, Henderson, and Charbonnet with Ollie Gordon and Braylon.
Okay, so you have Achane, Hampton, and then who's your flex then?
Right now it's Worthy.
I can't really hang up on him for that. But I'd probably start. Yeah, not hang up Worthy. I'm probably starting Hendy, I think. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. That's so tough. Worthy's gonna have a great. It depends on the Rice, obviously. But if Rice plays week 1 like scheduled, then I'm starting Hendy. But you got a good team. Yeah, I'd probably say you're maybe making a trade, or you're. I don't know. You kind of want to get Hendy into that flex spot, so maybe you can upgrade. I mean, you got McCarthy at quarterback, bro. You can upgrade. Use Worthy and McCarthy to get a better quarterback. That's what I'm doing from you. Your quarterback's going to hold you back. Yeah, your quarterback's going to hold you back. I'm not saying that McCarthy won't win games. He might be that. I don't know, but he's been kind of up and down. But yeah, you gotta make a QB upgrade. And Worthy's just sitting there. Hendy's wanting to get into the lineup. You're gonna lose sleep over that decision every week. It's nice to have bench depth though, but not. I got to get Hendy in my lineup. All right, bro.
No, definitely.
All right, call back when you got an offer later. All right, Travis, you're up.
I think all this preseason stuff people are trying to learn. They need to learn. Don't listen to the people that overreact. To like the Jeanty thing is a perfect example. There were people that I could tell, that were newer to fantasy or might not be quite as confident in themselves, which is all normal. Everyone goes through it when they're first starting out. That were truly worried because of all the stuff they were hearing on Jeanty. And you got to learn to put those people off to the side because they're going to get in your head and screw up your draft.
Shaw Dog, what do you mean he'll take over? Hendy will take over. What's he going to take over? He's already, like, the caller earlier was like, yeah, he's gonna start taking work from Ramondre and he'll eventually take the job. Yeah. Like, what are people talking about? Hendy's not the backup. What are people doing back there?
Well, you know what, Smitty? On the broadcast today, they were talking, and someone was saying to one of the local guys, one of the McCourty twins actually, which is crazy. So you think he's more than just a third down back. And it's like, what are we doing? And the local guy was like, yeah, he's clearly more than that. Basically, it's like, why are we asking that question?
I don't know. Dynasty contender trade 26 first rounder and a second for Pearsall. Giddens in a third. I know everyone's really hyped on Pearsall right now, but there's a couple things you have to really strongly consider. That it's not about is Ricky good. It's about what's the potential, wide receiver share, situation looking like. So for those that keep hyping Ricky up, he had 3 catches for 42 yards. Like I don't understand where the Ricky stuff came from today. It's like it's rampant. It's like Rick. You'd think Ricky had like 1,000 yards today. It's like Ricky. When are we talking about Ricky? Like he had 40 yards. He looked good. Pat Bryant had 40 yards. He looked good too. Like I don't know what we're doing here. We also have a very, very cloudy situation. Very cloudy. I like Pearsall, but what are we doing? I'm not giving up first rounders for Pearsall. I like Pearsall, but he might not even be the number one. Jennings is only injured because he needs some money. He needs a bandage that's a $100 bill bandage that he can put on his wound. That's all he's waiting for. And so when Jennings comes back, Jennings is the number one. Make no mistake about it. If Jennings gets back into the lineup, and I don't think he's even hurt, I think he just wants more money, he will be the number one wide receiver. I'm not saying that they can't rotate, but he will be the guy that comes with the experience, a guy that potentially had people wanted to be a potential Super Bowl MVP. This guy brings a lot of experience to the table, and I'm not saying that he'll be consistent either, but you've got Kittle, CMC, Worthy, or Jennings, Pearsall, Ayuk. Even though I don't think Ayuk will be effective, he comes back, and so it's crowded. And even if let's say Jennings isn't the number one, they're sharing the role, and so Pearsall's he's not even the third target on the team. He's not even the third target on a not so heavy pass attack squad. So what are we doing with Pearsall? You know what it is? This is the Michael Pittman Jr., the Deontay Johnson, Jalen Waddle situation where people are there's a cultic following of people that ended up drafting him, and they're waiting around for him to turn into gold. And so they're really loud. They make it seem like he's going to break out and become this elite wide receiver one. I like Ricky, but he's not that good. He's not worthy of getting rid of a first and a second round pick. I mean, just not even close for me. Not even close. Yeah, it's either Niner fans or it's people that they're wanting whatever they've got on their roster to be a pot of gold. Pearsall over Debo, not even close, bro. Not even close. Debo crushes Pearsall in fantasy value this year. Just wait. He's catching footballs from JD5. Let me guess. JD5's not as good as Brock Purdy, or JD5's going to have a sophomore slump, is what you think, is what I'm guessing. I mean, McLaurin's missing so much time. What?
Pearsall might not have been a first-round pick in this year's rookie draft.
No. He shouldn't have been a first-round pick last draft, but the Niners crapped the bed, freaked out, didn't take Cooper DeJean, should have taken Cooper DeJean. The whole fan base wanted them to take Cooper DeJean, and just like normal fans, and that's normal, supportive fans are like, no, we're glad he's going to work out pretty well. Of course you want that.
Even in a fantasy draft, though, I mean.
Debo's going to
if he was in this year's first round.
Yeah.
If he was in this year's fantasy draft, you wouldn't take him in the first round.
Niner fans hate Debo. They don't want to see Debo succeed. It's so weird. It's so selfish, and it really makes me wonder if they're really, truly good fans when they're constantly flipping on players whenever they move. When Mostert got injured, the Niner fans were so dirty to him, bro. They were giving him – he's getting threats and everything. Mostert shouldn't have been dealing with that. That was insane. He said he had some real dark times when he got injured, and the fan base was just going crazy. And the fact that the Niner fans hate Debo so much when he leaves, calling him names, telling him he's overweight, the Niner fan base can be cruel to their own players, and there's no loyalty there when they leave. 1.1 Superflex, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end. Take Josh, Lamar, or JD5. Yeah, you have to. There's no debate here. But which one is going quarterback? But which one do I take? Josh Allen's the safest. JD5's got, I believe, the most upside. Lamar's something in between. Josh Allen just does it year in and year out. And the thing about JD5 and why I kind of want to say JD5 is because we haven't even seen him have his second year. Nix is getting granted this reprieve or this, he could have a much bigger platform this year and wiggle room to become even greater. Caleb's going to take this big step. Penix Jr. is going to explode. Everybody's granted this big, wide open amount of value to go get upward. But JD5, because he was so good last year, you're just going to get what you got last year or less. Makes me laugh. Like, JD5 is just scratching the surface. We don't even know how good he can become. Just because he had such a good year, he doesn't get granted the same kind of wiggle room upward in terms of value. Kind of like JD5. But Josh Allen is probably the safest call. Lamar, I like what Lamar did last year. He's getting more accurate, and I think he's becoming a really good thrower. But this is definitely a tough call. I would lean toward Josh Allen for safety. I would lean toward JD5 if you want a little bit of risk and scared money don't make money type of approach to it. I think either way you'll be fine. JD5 is a top 3 overall quarterback, probably no matter what. And he might run for 1,000 yards and throw for 4,000. It's crazy how good he is at throwing, and people don't give him the credit. They don't think he's a gunslinger. He's probably one of the better throwers in the league. And people just think because he runs so much, he has to qualify for this like hybrid QB that can't throw as well. Deepest 2-3 QBs you trust as starters. 2-3. You talking about like not top 10, top 12 quarterbacks? So you're saying like QB2? I'm not starting a QB3 ever. But I would take Penix Jr. I would take Kyler Murray. I would take Dak Prescott. Those are probably 3 of my favorites. Drake May I'm starting to like more and more, but I still, Fields is great. I still kind of trust Penix Jr. a little more than I think most people do. I don't even understand it. I got Penix Jr. and Bo Nix in my buddy league, and I'm I'm questioning whether I'm going to want to even roll with Penix Jr. week 1. He's going to be that good this year. He's going to be amazing. All right, let me hit this phone number one more time. Dial in.
Call into the show.
And we got to get into a draft. We got to get into the draft. So go over to the Underdog app, promo code Smitty. We got 576 people in the building from YouTube. Please hit that thumb up button on your way in the door. This is your one-stop shop. We're live every single night, except for maybe one night a week at midnight Eastern. So almost every single midnight, I'm live. So there's that. Every single Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, I'm live, Monday through Friday. And whenever big news breaks, I'm live. That's sometimes 3, 4, 5 shows a day. This is your one-stop shop. There's the link right there. Rockout says check your DM. Let me head over to that. Rockout, hold on a second. All right, Rockout. Hold on.
Go get your Honda Henderson. He going and scoring mad the touchdown. He a beast from the easy. The fangs on his teeth for going in to keep himself brief. You don't gotta say nothing. He gonna score something. He gonna do something. That's how we gotta get it. Go get your Henderson.
Go get your head. Could you hear that? Everybody hear that? Sometimes I gotta go with the other. Did you hear it?
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay. Patreon's absolutely amazing, says Shaw Dog. Thank you, Shaw Dog. Appreciate that. If anybody wants to join, guys, to sign up on Underdog, I just dropped the link. I'll drop it one more time. It's pinned in the live chat. Thank you, Rockout, for that rendition. That was amazing. It was beautiful. Hit that link right here. One more time. Sign up. It's a $10 minimum. Underdog will match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000. It's only a $10 minimum though. And so if you drop $10 right now in the minimum, they'll give you 10 or they'll give you 5 and you'll have 15 total. And the drafts we're about to do are $5 drafts. Let me drop this Patreon link. Thank you, Shaw Dog. Shaw Dog says the Patreon's amazing. The Patreon is a 24/7, 365 live chat group that I'm in, that Travis is in, and you just go in there. And it's not about, hey, Smitty, answer this question. I'm not doing that. I'm in there because I want to conversate just like you, and we're all chatting back and forth. So it's about the group. But it's 365, 24/7. You're up at 2 a.m., have a start bench question. You need instant trade advice. You get into the live chat rooms here. There's right now, this is, it's actually narrowed down to 4. but it's $10 a month. Here's the link one more time. Cancel anytime. Join that. The links to this, my thefantasyfootballshow.com content, the rankings, the bold predictions. This is my bread and butter content. This link's in the description. The Patreon link's in the description. The Underdog link is in the description. Always in every description of every video. So if you need to go back and find anything, you can go ahead and do so. Let me add this caller here. Caller, mute yourself real quickly. I'll be right with you. Thank you. All right, guys, pull up the Underdog app right now. I dropped that link twice already. Make sure you sign up so you don't miss out. Go over to the Puppy 2 or 3. Is it Puppy 3? And is it still up? Hopefully it's still up. Puppy 3, it's still up. The $1 ones are gone. That sucks. I bet they do another. I bet they do another round of that though.
Yeah.
That went so quick. All right, on the count of 5, we're gonna click the green button. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Smash it. Get in there. We'll jump into the draft right now. I don't know if we'll do a second one or not. It depends on it depends on the time because we've been live for an hour and a half already, but we'll see. But anyway, I got a caller on hold. Caller, what is your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Grant from California.
What's up, Grant? What can I do for you?
Hey, so I'm a huge fan. I've been watching you for about 4 years now, and I tell all my buddies that I'm not in the league with to watch your content. I think you hit it spot on. I have one question, and then I have some pushback on another topic. So my first question would be, am I crazy for going Chase Brown after I'm 7th pick, my first in my league, 7th pick? On that second turn, am I crazy for going Chase Brown? I just don't love Josh Jacobs, and I don't believe Drake London will be there.
No, he's a staple in round 2, so that's not crazy at all.
I want to make sure.
No,
I appreciate it.
That's where his value. That's where his value is. Yeah.
I agree. I think he's going to be amazing. I think he's like CMC light before CMC really blew up. I think he's going to be fantastic this year, hopefully without the injuries. My second pushback is I genuinely want to know what and why do you continue being a fan of Debo? And I understand that he's so versatile on the field, but the pushback here is he's not a supreme route runner as an older receiver like a Devontae Adams needs, right? To be able to get separation. He's lost explosiveness. I'm not going to get baited in by the videos of him slowing down or getting the weight. I don't think that's too much of a concern, but it just doesn't seem with where he's at now compared to where he was 2021, 2020 of that Debo.
Well, I would say a couple things. I would say number one, it's hard to assess Debo last year because of a number of different situations that were going on there. The fact that, hold on, I'm on the clock here.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm gonna go Jamar Chase here. I don't have a lot of Chase shares from the one lately, and I keep drafting Bijan over and over and over. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay. So what I'll say, bro, is that number one, Debo was still very good last year. You got to look at some of the finer points. Debo has been one of the best receivers in the league in a couple categories, year in and year out. The only category, and this really was because of the offense, it was because of Purdy, it was because of the Niners, it was because he got banged up. There was a lot of reasons why. But Debo was still 3rd in the league in yards after contact. Debo was still 7th in the league in broken tackles last year. Debo has been greenlit on all of those categories for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years in a row. Debo is one of the better receivers in yards after catch that we've probably ever seen. He was number 6, number 5, number 1, number 8, number 5, and number 3 last year in consecutive years. So when people say he can't get open, he can't catch, broken tackles 7, 2, 1, 1, 7, 4 in all of the most recent years. It's straight from 2019 to. So when people say Debo wasn't good last year, or Debo slowed down, or Debo did this, I laugh because that's not what my eyes tell me. It's not what the data tells you. So you have two things going against that thinking. What it is a lot of people repeating it over and over and over, and then people just accepting it. Debo hasn't lost a step. Debo's not a bad route runner. Debo's not bad at separation. Debo played in a specific offense that was very unique and used him only one way. He's now going into a Kingsbury attack where JD5 is going to be scrambling all over the field, and Debo's going to have the most space he's ever had. to navigate. So, and he's the number 1 wide receiver right now because McLaurin hasn't been out there at all. So you're telling me Debo's not going to play better than some of his even better years? Let's take the 1 year, the one pop off year out. You don't think he's going to outperform all those other seasons with JD5 and a Kingsbury attack where they're not asking him to run up the A gap and get injured over and over? Debo's going to ball, bro. Debo's going to ball. He's in some of the best shape he's ever been in, too. This nonsense. You don't have to not get baited in. You just got to use your eyeballs. He's not out of shape. These people don't know what they're talking about, bro. Debo looks phenomenal right now. He looks speedy. He looks quick. And his game has never been the quickest off the line. It is get this guy a screen pass. And you don't think Kingsbury's going to cater to that? If you get the ball in Debo's hands, he's either in the end zone or he's getting ushered out of bounds by 3 and 4 defenders. And nothing last year showed me different. And when Shanahan wanted to trade him, what did I say? The moment that Mason went on IR for like a stub toe, I said it's because he's a restricted free agent and he doesn't want somebody to come poach Mason off his roster. So he's going to take Mason, sit him, make him less valuable, and then he ended up trading him anyway. It was so stupid because you had less trade value. That's more of Shanahan's nonsense. But when he did that and then rushed Debo out there to play in meaningless games and he used them all over the field. Debo was everywhere the final week. Why? Because Shanahan wanted to show to everybody that he was still very healthy, and Debo looked great in that game. So there's no drop-off visually. Debo looked fantastic at the end of the year. I just think people are out of their minds against Debo. And it's rooted in some weird stuff because all of the data and my eyeballs tell me different. Like Debo was riddled with.
This is like the one take that I always feel like you would actually stray away from because you're very. Yeah, I know you say no. I know that, but I'm saying it's very unlikely because he is older. He's not. Kingsbury's a really good quarterback.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Should I try the Henderson approach here with Garrett Wilson or no? Or Hampton and Henderson?
I like Hampton and Henderson.
Or is this too early for Hendy here? I mean, it's kind of not.
No, I don't think it's not after what we've been seeing lately. No.
All right, let's try a Chase Hampton Hendy. Let's do that. I think as long as he's your third drafted player, I think you're okay.
I like Henderson.
And I'm not getting it on the way back, and this is pretty solid given that I have Jamar Chase. Let's try it and see. Let's try it. This is an experiment. We're going to try it and see how deep the team might feel or how shallow it could feel. Although this is in a snipe city, and so it might feel shallow anyway. We turn. All right, real quickly, last question. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there one player out of the Chase and Associates, even including throwing anybody in there, right? So Henderson, Hampton. Those guys. Is there any player that's really kind of standing out and impressing you even more out of that group?
Out of the Triple H and Associates, they're all impressing me.
Yeah,
they're all.
But there's got to be one.
I mean, they're all. I mean, I love all 4 of them. That's why they're on the board. Hold on one second. Sorry, DJ, try it again, and I'll try and answer it. They're all fantastic. The thing is, Harvey, you're waiting for another explosive run or something, and once that happens, keep in mind that when the Hampton news popped and everyone's like, oh my God, they took him off the field after 2, and this is me too. They took him off the field after 2 carries, 3 carries or whatever it was. That means he's a starter. That was great news, and we thought this is really good, and it was. And then everybody started saying Hampton's the number 1, blah, blah, blah. Jeanty has -1 yards. Everybody, freaks out reverse style. And it's like everyone's reacting to every little thing. Imagine if Harvey goes out there and has a 45-yard run using the explosion that he's capable, the explosiveness that he has. He's going to climb up into the 4th round, middle of the 4th round, top of round 4. We're really early on these guys. The Triple H and Associates, they're all going to climb. They're all climbing right now.
Triple H and Associates, locations
but
never
Hunter,
forget when you got Jeanty, Hampton, Henderson, and Hunter on one draft, and Harvey. Didn't you get all of them?
I forget if we did. This is called the 4 horsemen when you grab Jeanty, then Harvey.
You did a 4 horseman draft, and you were able to snipe all those players in one draft. Never seen anything else.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. We should go look at. The only problem with that team is it had Rashee Rice in round 2. And that's where Rice was going. Rice climbed all the way to the 2. There was no threat of a suspension or anything coming down this year. And so, like, imagine if we had just grabbed, if we were able to get, like, a London or somebody else. And so it sucks that now relying on Rice. But it's still a really good team. All right, I got to roll, bro. Appreciate you. Have faith in Debo. And keep in mind, Debo's ADP in, like, the 7th round in grandma leagues is as low risk as it gets. And I do get a lot of people that will say, it seems like very unlike you, Smitty, to be into Debo when you don't like older players drafting them. You don't like injury-prone players. It's not really true. I mean, like, Barkley is very injury-prone. And he was a Mars man and a league winner for this channel when he was going in the 2nd round. And Barkley, that call helped win leagues over and over and over. Let's see here. Hold on, I got back-to-backs here. Man, nothing's gonna fall. It's just like Hunter and Harvey both go right before this pick. That's crazy. I guess I'll go Chuba here, which I didn't necessarily want to do. Where did Rice go?
End of 4.
Yeah, I don't know. I might regret not going wide receiver, but these wide receivers got ripped off the board. And then, of course, Harvey getting snagged right before my pick when he would have fallen outside of Snipe City. That would have been amazing. I would have loved to have had Hampton, Henderson, and Harvey. That would have been awesome. I probably would have had Hunter and... if we weren't drafting together, I would have had Hunter and Harvey with Hendy, Hampton, and Chase.
Yeah.
Shaw Dog, I have a whole video on it, but my guess right now is that Rice is going to get, I would say, 6 games if I had to just throw a number at it. But we'll have to see how the hearing goes, or if they agree on something before the hearing. I cannot imagine the NFLPA and Rice's camp saying yes to anything, but maybe and maybe not even 6 games, because it really is unprecedented. Was that Rock Out that was there? No, that was CB Run. Grab them.
Call back.
DJ, you're live.
This is a perfect draft. Just to drill down on who you like, Hendy or Hampton. But Hampton's ADP is like, you still have to grab him in 2. We're clear that we like Hendy over Hampton, right?
If I don't try and draft it. Like, and the reason I took Hampton there is not that one draft's going to influence ADP, but I have a natural instinct to try and support keeping the players as low as possible. So I naturally will draft Hampton over Hendy every time, just to make, like in this case, just to make sure Hendy's a 3rd round pick. Again, there's so many. It used to be on like Sleeper, we would move ADPs like easily. We'd easily move a player 2 or 3 rounds, our community. And because you're talking about, like, you're not talking about hundreds of thousands and hundreds of thousands of drafters. You're talking about 20,000, 10,000, and we drafted a big portion of that. But on Underdog, there are so many people drafting. You're not moving ADP by yourself. But what I also don't want to do is, I've got a lot of people here, kind of like almost like a pyramid in a way, or a spider web, where if I start showing everyone I'm taking Hendy in the 2nd round. The reason I'm answering this way is because I would, if it was really up to me without any sort of responsibility of ADPs and things like that and influencing people, I would want Hendy to be listed over Hampton as a point of principle here. But anyway,
you can't.
I just don't want people. I want people to see, because everybody's going to go out and draft. There's more than just me that's going to be influenced by the order of this. So I'm just trying my best. I'm doing my part to keep it down.
Yeah, that's my point, because I had taken Hampton in the middle of round 2 in the draft because I didn't think I was going to get him in 3, and I didn't really like the value that was going to be in 3 over Hampton versus my RBs that were going to be available, if that makes sense, in 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I took him, and in this case, great point. We could say Hendy's better than Hampton in terms of just actual value, right? Team, scheme, McDaniels. But as it stands now, it's like, okay, if I'm going to have this build and I'm looking at that value, Hampton makes sense. So it's just a drill down on what we were talking about, or what you were talking about earlier. And then that Chuba Herbert pick is, that's value there in terms of how you're building there. And you got the stack with Burrow. Go ahead.
Yeah, hold on one second. Man, I don't know. I feel like I had to reach a little bit on Reed. So my receivers aren't the end of the world bad. I'm not a big fan of Olave. I love Olave as a player. But Chase, Jamar Chase, Olave, and Jaden Reed isn't horrible. Considering I got Joe Burrow, Chuba Hubbard, Trey Henderson, and Hampton. I think if we were not in Snipe City, I would have had Hunter and I would have had Harvey, and we would be loving this team. So I don't know that this is a bad approach. It's hard to have a good process in this type of environment. But I think it still looks okay. Is Olave and Reed good twos and wide receiver 2 and 3? I think this late they are, but there's a lot of concern. I just don't draft a lot of Olave. I just don't want to deal with the injury concern. Reed's in a walking boot right now, but I do love him. So we'll see. Doesn't feel like the best team that I could draft, that's for sure. If it was a weekly winner, I'd be much happier. But my team, my running backs are fire. My quarterback's obviously as good as it gets. And Jamar Chase and Burrow stacked together is pretty damn good. So I don't know. We'll have to see how it shakes out. This one, who souls?
Who would be?
Who would be?
Who would
Darts be? QB competition. Darts. Russell Wilson.
No, I think he means this comparison too. I made sure he clarified.
Okay, comparison. Dart. I don't know.
Hard to know.
Baker, maybe.
Like, if he hits his absolute ceiling.
Yeah. That would be like, because Baker struggled a lot. And I'm not saying Dart's going to struggle. I'm just saying like Baker took a while to get here. So that's, if I was trying to compare maybe his style a little bit, or I don't know, just maybe.
Yeah, style.
Like it's going to be going up by Baker. And we'll see what Baker really is without Liam Cohen. Maybe he drops off a little bit. I kind of think he won't. 10-team Dynasty PPR traded Sutton for Harvey. Totally Smitty approved. Absolutely. I'd do that all.
You've just been Smitty approved.
That 2-3 turn in drafts is pretty great. It's it's kind of a cluster. And when I'm sharing this with you and your thoughts, I don't want to confuse anybody because I'm right aligned with you. I think it was a great example that you mentioned earlier about the gentleman who had called in with his, I think it was a rookie draft, and he was looking at taking maybe Hendy at 210. And I thought your explanation was dead on from a standpoint of, if you think you're able to, in 3, get a player that you're able to get in 2 for the Hendy, then it's not necessarily a reach. So depending upon how that board flows, I think you were spot on with that, because is it really a reach?
As long as
in terms of the overall value.
It's all about, you just got to make sure you're making the pick count that is near it. And then if you do, then you're fine. So if you can make your pick count and you take a player in 4 that you could argue is worthy of 3, then you're washing that risk. But the problem is somebody takes, Hendy early and then they take freaking Tet McMillan next or something, and you're giving yourself no wiggle room out of that. And you're putting a lot of onus on the 2 rooks together. Let's see here. I got to figure out what I'm going to do.
Well, that's why they need to watch.
Joshua Downs here, guys, or do I go? I got 5 seconds. I don't know. I hate the receiver room right now. All right. Next pick. News just broke that JJ's hopeful to play I'm gonna hopeful to practice. I'm sorry. Hopeful to practice this coming week. I think is what the report just said. Jefferson hamstring, hopeful to practice this week. Yeah, that's not necessarily new news really, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. My fear is everybody sees him like, jumping up and body, bumping people in midair, as a form of dabbing. And they think, oh, he's fine. Did you see him running, jumping around? Like, that's not firing your hamstring off at 100% running, people. Or getting hit while you're flexing it and pushing off. And, that's jogging around. You can, if you pull your hamstring or your calf to the point where you can't run, you can go out and walk like a day later. And it'll hurt a little bit, but you could go on like 2-mile walks. It might be, hurt at the end of it. Like, there's certain things you can do, just like you can, jump around and jog a little bit when you have a torn hamstring and it's healed up. But anyway, as for the Jaden Reed, some of you were saying Jaden Reed news in a boot. That's new news. No, I mean, it's the last report was he was in a walking boot. He has an injured foot, and that the team and coaching staff has said that he could miss week 1. So Reed could miss week 1. They're not for sure, but it sounds like he will. I mean, to talk about week 1 so far away, to saying he could miss week 1 means that he's probably missing week 1. You almost would not mention that if it was, not like leaning toward that. But anything can happen. So we'll have to see. This team is okay. It's not my favorite team. I'm going to admit that right now. If we get to a 250 likes, I have 535 people in here from YouTube. We have 172 thumbs up. If we get to 250 likes by the end of this draft, we will run another one. But we have to get more likes. We have 535 watching. So that's pretty easy. Pretty easy to do. So we'll run it longer show, and we'll run another draft. So even if you're not drafting, you want to do it so you can get a longer show. So, yeah, I'm not.
Why not? Why not hit the like? I think I'm 8 or 9 months in on enjoying and learning, and from the show. So, like, why not? It's kind of like free knowledge.
Thank you.
It's readily available, but it's worth it. But let me say this about AR5. I had a question. What do you think? Is AR5 starting or Daniel Jones going? And if Daniel Jones does start, is it better for the receivers as a whole? Seems like Downs is going to win with whoever. Center.
Maybe, but Downs didn't win with AR5 necessarily all the time, but in the past. But we'll see if AR5 has developed a better rapport with him and all that, but a consistent rapport with him. But I like... I don't know. I guess I would just say that Danny Dimes isn't good for anybody. He's not good for getting near the end zone. He vultures when they do. JT's going to plummet in value with Danny Dimes under center. And if AR5 is under center, he's a little bit better off. But, will his team live enough near the red zone for... I just don't think it's worth drafting any Colt players if you can do it. In this situation, I had to grab the upside of Downs because... the metrics are good. Everything screams that he should have a good year. If he can get healthy, stay healthy. AD Mitchell as well. Like, whichever one of them is going to probably do pretty well. But will they be consistent? In best ball, I don't mind because if you draft, like, let's say the entire room, you're going to probably get a producer each week. I do think that will be the case. But will we have consistency? Will we get more red zone looks than it's definitely like a... not a very easy. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Let me just make this pick here. I guess I'll go Luther Burden here, and I'll roll with. I guess Tank Bigsby. So Jamar Chase, Olave, Jaden Reed, Downs, Burden. I mean, it's pretty salvaged, I guess, but I don't love the team. I would have, if we weren't all in a snipe environment, it would have fallen well. I think it was a good approach. I think if anybody is trying to plan this out and they look at this board and they say, I don't like how it felt, I wouldn't worry about it. If you go Jamar Chase, Hampton, and then Hendy, if you're not drafting with our group of people, Hunter and Harvey both went hella early. Those both would have fallen to my turn picks, and I would have been happy with that. Rice might fall to that pick in some drafts. There's a lot of opportunity. Mahomes even fell in this group. He fell, so I could have went Harvey instead of Chuba, who I like Chuba though. Harvey instead of Chuba and Hunter instead of Burrow, and then I would have got Mahomes instead of Olave. That's what I could have done if we weren't in this environment. So it would have been it's still a very solid plan of attack in my opinion. Oh, here are these 2 super chats. Mr. Frost, appreciate you. Guys, we have 218. We need just, about 30 something more, 32 more thumbs up, and then we can draft again. So we're almost at 220. We just need 250. Smitty, thoughts on Diggs? Seems like good value. Maybe. I don't hate his value, but I also just like other players better at and around his ADP, my boy. Where did he go in this draft? Where did Diggs go? I feel like he's been climbing into value that I don't really think is. Here he is, right in the middle of the board there, round 7. Yeah, I don't know that I feel like that's a great value. I think if he was going like 9 or 10, I'd kind of be on board. Do I hate him at this range? Not really, but I don't love him either.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like would I have a share of it? Sure. I wouldn't run away from it, but I'm certainly not oversaturating Diggs, shares at this territory. No, thank you. But I can understand the allure. I get why it's an attractive player to some people just because he looks quick right now. I get it. Pop Douglas has been playing pretty well. We like Kyle Williams a lot. I think Hendy could be the number 1 wide receiver on the team. Hey, Smitty, keeper league 12 or 14 team half PPR. Keep Achane, lose 7-round pick. Keep Bowers, lose a 9-round pick. Which one are you keeping? As long as it's not premium, I'm going with the RB. And the round difference isn't that crazy. You think about Bowers and the 7th rounder because you get that 7th rounder if you keep Bowers. I don't know. I'm okay with it being a 9th rounder instead and then getting the running back. So give me Achane, especially in a 14-team league. The running back's going to fly off the board. That's a pretty easy call for me. I don't think I even hesitate. And unless it was tight end premium. If it's tight end premium, I might change my mind. But I still could argue it. If it was like half tight end premium, like half a point, I think I still would lean Achane. All right, damn it. I don't know what to do with this pick here. My team is just not one that I love. I need a wide receiver. I guess I'll go with Thornton, and then I'll go with Cam Ward. Although that's the same bye week as Burrow, right? 10. Jeez. Oh well. I still like him. Yeah, not a big fan of this team. Hopefully everyone hits the thumb up button. We got 228. We just need roughly 20 more likes, and then we'll draft again. 20 more likes. 540 of you in here. 20 more likes, and we'll draft again. If anybody wants to draft with us, prepare now. Underdog promo code Smitty. The link's pinned in the live chat. The link's in the description of the video, especially if you're watching a replay. The links are all my links are always in the description if you're looking for them later. Even the fantasyfootballshow.com, even though that's very easy to get to. Even the Underdog link to get the 50% bonus match. Code Smitty gets that done as well if you don't have the link. And then my link to the Patreon is all in there. Here's the link right there. I dropped it again. So jump in there. $1 drafts. I don't think there are $1 drafts, D-Rock. They're gone. But they'll probably add them again unless they just added them like right now. Then hell yeah, we'll do one. But I don't think they're there anymore. So hit that link that I just dropped in the live chat. And we'll be drafting here in a minute if you guys hit that 250 goal. We still need about 19 thumbs up. Oh, we're not drafting. 18. Do it live.
Real quick, I was just going to say, because the chat was talking about JT as well. We all know what his ceiling is. Like, he's obviously very good if everything works out. But what I always get from the JT people are his last 5 games he was amazing. Well, his last 5 games he was on a 482 carry pace. The Colts basically just gave up, shut it down, and just handed him the ball for 5 games. And even over the last 10 games when he came back from injury, he was on a 392 carry pace. So, I mean, if you think he can hold up over that pace and put up those numbers, fine, but it's not something I'm risking.
Bro, he hasn't played like a top 10 running back since the pandemic. He hasn't been a top 10 running back since I believe first moved into the studio. I built this studio and I was in the kitchen against a white wall. And Travis wasn't here. A lot of you weren't even here for that. And that, like, he hasn't been a top 10 running back since. I don't understand where everybody's. I mean, you're talking about 2022, 2023, 2024. You're walking into 2025. Like, he's just going to be a top 10 running back all of a sudden. I mean, he's always banged up. He's in a very up and down offense that has a QB carousel going on. And at the end of the day, it's one of those, you know, it's one of those, like, yeah, he's going to play great for a string of games, but he's never going to put it all together. He's too injury prone. The QB carousel is going to be inconsistent. There's no evidence to support that he's not living in such an up and down situation with the injury history that he's worth grabbing where these other players are going. It's about who are you getting instead of JT, Bucky, London, Chase Brown, even Hendy over JT. I mean, you're getting much better, safer, not injury-prone players. Anybody can get hurt, but so can JT. That's the weirdest thing when people tell me you can't predict injury. JT's unpredictable freak knee injury, yeah, he has that too. So when you say, well, anybody can tear their knee, yeah, so could JT, but JT comes with an additional injury component that is baked in that he can't get rid of, that he's injury prone on top of the freak injuries. The freak injuries can strike anybody, but he's got two reasons to worry about him. All right, hold on. What does my team look like here? What do I need? Pat Bryant. This team.
Yeah, Bryant ended up with 70 yards today.
Yeah, I like him. I just think this team it's not doing it for me. Oh, I'm going to time out. I don't know if that was early. He was in my queue as my next player, but so I think I'm kind of getting good at wide receiver here, at being done drafting. Not that I love my wide receivers, but I got Yoshi Voss with Burrow. I don't mind that. I've got Pat Bryant, Dante Thornton, Luther Burden, Josh Downs, Jaden Reed, Chris Olave, Jamar Chase. It's actually not bad. It's actually a pretty decent wide receiver room, considering. Running backs, Hampton, Henderson, Chuba, Tank Bigsby. Quarterback, Joe Burrow, Cam Ward. I like it. It's not bad.
Yeah, I was in on JT in 3-4. And this was earlier on coming in. But yeah, how do you say you pivot, right? We flow.
I mean, and also if anybody disagrees with me on that, I shouldn't be dictating everyone's decisions. I'm going to be wrong on a lot of things. And you want an example of something recently? I've been very out on Jackson Dart. And today I feel like I saw something in him that I like. And I'm going to pivot on that. And that's not flip-flopping. It's not being a moron. It's not being somebody you can't trust because I flip-flop. You should trust somebody that's able to acknowledge I like what I'm seeing and I haven't been on board. I'm on board. I'm not going to try and get to the front of the train necessarily, but I got on the caboose and I'm just kind of hanging out. And that's how this goes. So if somebody's sitting there going, I'm going to trust Smitty with everything, I'm going to be wrong on stuff. I think we're definitely right more times than we're wrong, and we hit some league-winning stuff all the time. But I'm going to miss on some stuff, and I'm certainly not going to be 100% on predicting how everyone's going to, all these rookies are going to, how it's all going to go. You got to keep in mind that sometimes players get in the league and they develop into something they never really were. like Bucky, like Kurt Warner, like Tom Brady, like so many other players. You know, Bucky's probably the best example of a player that was a good prospect. He was, but he was not an elite prospect. His metrics, nothing screamed that he could be the number 3 or 2 or 4 running back, you know, until he got into the league, until he got the NFL coaching, and he just took a total step forward. And the same thing with Achane. Achane was a fun, exciting player, but he didn't necessarily have that, I'm going to be a top 4 overall player. You know what I mean? Like, so people have to remember that Achane, Bucky, Kurt Warner, Tom Brady, there's a eclectic group of players that became something that nobody really saw from the prospect level. And the prospect level is different than once they're in the league. So, you know, if you believe, my whole point is, if you believe in JT, even you, DJ, don't let me sway you from, you know, that, if that's how you feel, you know. But I don't. Well, I think it's a load of risk.
Well, yeah, I appreciate that, and this is why I watch, and this is why, you know, everyone's watching, you know, and learn this, because, you know, we can have these conversations for, you know, the squad. So I learned, and when I say JT, see, I have a running back bias in terms of these 2, 3, 4 versus the receivers that I'm looking at in these rounds. So me moving JT, it's still my concept, but there are other backs. You know, as I've been going along and looking and, you know, coming into the season and drafting, that moves JT for me. It's not that I dislike him. I was looking at the chat and whatnot, but in terms of his ADP versus how I value him in others, that's how I move him. But yeah, I appreciate you saying that, and absolutely right. You know, I'll have my opinion, you know, right or wrong, and everyone has one. You know, it's like, hey, but you know, this is why best show on the planet. But that was my point with JT and the knowledge that you shared.
All right, my man. Appreciate you. All right, call back if you got another one, DJ.
Thanks, Wyatt. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks,
man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, Big T. Big T's been sitting there for a while. Big T, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Big T. You're live. My bad. Okay.
You're good, Smitty. No worries, man.
Oh, let me merge Rock out in real quickly. Rock out. Hold on 1 second. Just mute yourself. All right, go ahead, JT. Or I'm sorry, not J. Big T. Go ahead and continue. I'm sorry.
You're good. So I
11 more likes
about Travis Etienne, and you know, I just find myself every time I'm drafting around the 7-8 turn, and I need a running back, and it's kind of like that running back dead zone area of, like, you know, DeAndre Swift, David Montgomery, I don't know, like Tyrone Tracy, that kind of area. I just find myself drafting Travis Etienne just because of that offense, and you know, he played all the snaps with all the starters in the first preseason game. He looks pretty good in camp. I feel like it's a value getting him in that area. I just find myself drafting him a little bit more. So just wanted to get your opinion on Travis.
I think I personally would never draft him if I'm not cuffing him. If I'm cuffing him, then I love it because the situation is gold. Guys, we need 9 more likes by the time we get to this, or I am ending the stream. But I will do another draft if we hit 250. So we just need 9 more likes. We're almost there. We got 490 people in here. I'm taking ETN a lot right now, but with the 3 running backs together, which is pretty easy to land. They're pretty spaced out, and you don't have to necessarily go one after the other. You can go ETN, then go, you know, grab another couple players, and then come back and get Bigsby and Tootin back to back. I feel like it's pretty solid. But I'm not drafting ETN by himself. Although if you did, like, let's say you drafted ETN and then somebody snipes Bigsby and Tootin from you, that's happened to me, and I'm like, damn it, I wouldn't have taken ETN. Part of me is like, okay, he could still get traded or still be the one in Liam Cohen's offense, but he's certainly somebody I don't go on a mission to target. We got to 250, so we'll do a draft. Thank you guys for hitting the 250 goal. 252.
Oh, nice. I think there's a really good chance we could see something very similar to last year, where with ETN, almost like the Rashad White, where as the season goes, either Tootin or Bigsby starts. Now, Bigsby could take it away right away, but, Tootin looks really good. That's not to say I don't think ETN can't be productive and then eventually transition into that Rashad White type role or something. But I just wonder about he's not Liam Cohen's guy. He's a free agent next year.
He's probably getting traded.
So,
he's probably getting traded. The reason I think he's getting traded, unless he goes out and has a baller year, which he could, and he's running with the ones. So if he's having a baller year, and they want to bring him back and they'll sign him to an extension. But other than that, they don't want to lose him for nothing. And because they might want to get the ball rolling on the Tootin train anyway, or Bigsby, or both, because he does kind of have that dual running back situation. Getting them rolling, both of them, getting rid of ETN will help. And I just think they want to get something for him. And I think they know they're not winning a Super Bowl this year, so it is kind of about future years. So getting something for ETN now makes sense. It just makes sense. And there's 3-4 teams that would be very happy to have him. The Washington Commanders, but hopefully not because of Ja'Cory Cross-Scheme-Merritt. We want him to be the guy. The Chicago Bears are going to be in need of a running back really soon. Mark my words on that. And then Houston, who has, I hope Woody Marks gets a shot, but he might not. And, Monungai kick to the nutsack if something happens. Woody Marks kick to the sack if something happens. And Ja'Cory Cross-Scheme-Merritt still could outshine. Maybe ETN gets hurt and then he still gets a shot, but it's certainly not going to help Bill if someone lines up. But those are 3 teams that are certainly going to be listening to an ETN offer. And I think ETN, especially to Chicago, Walker or ETN to Chicago, because I believe Ben Johnson is going to be struggling badly to get Caleb where he wants Caleb to be this year. And he's going to have to say, how do we, in so many words, dumb down the offense? And how do we get back to something that will help support Caleb and get him, ready? Because he's not going to be. So it's going to be like, what do? We need to establish the run. Once we establish the run, we got to get ETN in here or Walker. Now we can swing back and fix Caleb a little bit easier, which I don't think will necessarily happen. But Ben Johnson's tied to him right now, unfortunately. And we'll see how it holds. But
I'm rooting for Javonte and Jaden Blue, but Dallas could be looking for a running back by the trade deadline too.
Yeah, they could. Any one of these rookies could get kicked in the sack value-wise. We just got to remember that. And honestly, look at the Rashee Rice stuff. That anything can happen at any moment too. We're gonna have at least three or four big punches to the gut this year at some point. As a harsh reminder that anything can happen. Any player can get taken away from us. We're gonna have some bad news at some point, and we're gonna have a lot of freak out Freddies coming out of week 1 when maybe a Hunter doesn't do something right away, or a Harvey or a Hampton, or somebody's not going to do something right away, and people are going to come in here like they did with Jeanty. You know what I'm going to say to people? You were the same guy that probably said Jeanty minus 1 yard on 3 carries. That's what people are going to do. But guess what? Whenever there are those shows, that means they're players that we can buy low. Real quickly, guys, hit that link, underdog promo code Smitty. Here's the link one more time. If you want to draft with us right now, here's the link. We're going to get into a puppy 3. Hit that link, do it live. Jump into a draft in about 10 seconds here. Okay, I'll pull it up and we'll all jump in together. We're going to go into a puppy 3 and I'll tell you when to hit the button. I'll let everybody kind of click that link and get settled. So hit that link, underdog code Smitty, $10 minimum. They'll give you a 50% match on your first deposit. So if you do $10, they're going to give you 5. So do $10, they'll give you 5. And that's how you get into these drafts. And we draft at midnight Eastern, literally like every single night, but maybe one night a week. And real quickly, hold on, let me read the super chat. And then, guys, hit that link and sign up. I'll give you about 30 seconds to sign up, maybe a minute. And then we're gonna count down and click the button. Smitty just drafted 12-team, 11th pick, London, Chase Brown, Hampton, Kamara, Garrett Wilson, Nix, Ayuk, Emeka, Buka, Purdy, Sharbs, Goddard, Higgins, and Blue. 11th pick, 12-team, London, Chase Brown, Hampton, Kamara, Garrett Wilson. I like it. Would I move anything? Maybe. I guess I would say I love your first 3 picks. I mean, Hampton's he's a good third-round player. Garrett Wilson, you could argue, is your third-round player. You got essentially 2 third-round players in Hampton and Garrett Wilson. Fantastic job. I don't like Ayuk. I'm not drafting him at all. I like Kamara, but I worry about his long-term. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Punch the puppy 3/22. Do it live.
And that went quick.
That went really quick. I can't tell when I'm like the last one to join or the second to last one or the third to last one. I think that one put me in. I was like, there's like 4 more to join, 3 more to join, 2 more to join, and then boom. But it doesn't matter. Jump into a draft alongside of us, guys. You'll still enjoy.
Doesn't look like I got in yours, but got in with DJ.
Nice.
But back on that, just like you were mentioning, the Bears, Caleb Williams, like Ben Johnson. I can't believe that they passed on Travion Henderson and picked Luther Burden. I love Luther Burden, but like that they had plenty of receivers. They could have. He could have gotten.
That's Ryan Poles,
right?
That's Ryan Poles. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, Ryan.
He's a Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, Ryan Poles. And Ryan Poles, I mean, I despise Ryan Poles specifically because he was giggling when the Falcons picked Michael Penix, and look how that's working out for him now. That's an aside, though. But, yeah, I just want to say that. But back on the Travis Etienne thing, I feel like he's better than Rachaad White, yes, but I don't know. I can see a resurgence because he's had really good seasons, and they have investment in him with that first-round pick, but James Gladstone, with him putting all his chips on Bashal too, and then like going to Shad Khan and being like, "You guys need to draft Bashal Tootin, or we need to draft Bashal Tootin." I don't know. It makes me feel like,
bro, you got
weird from a dynasty perspective.
Yeah, you got to think that Tootin's starting games. I'd almost put my little pinky toe on the line right now without even risking anything, just for fun, or without even getting anything back. Yeah. I truly think that Bashal Tootin starts games at some point. And I hate saying that because I love Bigsby. But part of me, thinks that Bigsby's never carried the rock, for an entire season. So he's probably, in the pros, at least for, you're probably looking at a guy like Mason, who's going to play like a monster. Bigsby's going to win leagues. But there will be a time where he sits out because he gets broken down, worn down. Tootin comes in, and then what's in store for 2026? So Tootin's the guy. If you had to draft one of them, you want to draft Tootin. All right, I got to go. Last question.
Yeah. One more thing. Cedric Tillman, I wanted to talk about him real quick. How do you feel about Cedric Tillman and, his little spurt of 3 games? Like, one thing that I saw is that Rashee Rice, he averaged about 17 points in his 3-game spurt before getting hurt. Cedric Tillman, he averaged 18 points in his 3-game spurt before he got hurt. And so, I mean, I've seen a lot of upside with Cedric Tillman, and although the Browns' offense is like something I don't really want to touch, I do see upside in him. So I just wanted to get your opinion on Cedric.
I like him, bro, but it's crowded. It's hard to. Let's see, Chase Brown. I'll go Chase Brown here. So Lamb and Chase Brown. It's crowded, bro. It's you got Judy. I think he's probably the number 2, or you could even argue, he at times could be. I mean, Judy's the one, but he's a good player. I like him a lot, and it seems like the only problem you're going to have is that all these quarterbacks have a little bit of a favorite, and is he going to have the right quarterback in there at the right time all year long? You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be some sort of jostling in quarterback carousel. It's going to cause the inconsistency to rise up. But in best ball, I don't mind him. He's certainly got a lot of upside. There was a moment when, let me draft here real quick. Hold on.
If it's Joe Flacco or Shedeur Sanders, I feel perfectly fine with Cedric Tillman. But Dylan Gabriel.
Hold on. Kyren or Hendy, guys? Kyren or Hendy?
Hendy. Do it.
Really? All right, let's go with the upside on these. Let's swing big. Yeah, there was a time when God, I love both of them though. Kyren's fantastic there too. There was a time when Tillman blew up in that 2-game stretch or the 2 or 3 game stretch where everyone was talking about him like he was a top 12 to 15 dynasty wide receiver. And it was like, slow down, everybody, slow down, because he had such big games and then he vanished. So I like him a lot. I grab him if he's out there on waivers. I certainly think I'm hopeful, but I think you can't expect much. You just got to hope as a stash he does well. All right, I got to roll, Big T. We'll see you later, bro. Call back if you got another one. All right, rock out. You're live.
Yeah, I give you my team.
Yeah, go ahead. Man, Kyren fell to the turn. Jeez.
All right, quarterback, Mahomes, Ward, Sanders, running back, Bijan, Kyren Williams, Hubbard, Ray Davis, Keaton Mitchell, Woody Marks, Will Shipley, wide receiver, JSN, Rice, Olave, Shakir, Burden, Kyle Williams, tight end, Kelsey, Ertz.
It's pretty good. Rock out. Sorry, I was trying to retain all of it. It sounds pretty good. Hold on one second. On the clock here. Rashee Rice in 4.8. Not worth it. Do I go Worthy, or do I go? Yeah, Hunter.
Could go Worthy.
Hunter early. What do you guys think, Travis?
I think Worthy.
Worthy.
All right, we'll go Worthy. Scotty Dew says Harvey and Gibbs or Hendy and Sutton. Harvey and Gibbs, bro. I mean, what are you doing there? Scotty. Scotty, come on, man. I've trained you better than this. This is 2 questions in a row, I think.
A good example, though. And I'm not saying Scotty's doing it, but a good reminder, like, don't overfeed into hype, because a lot of people will be trading anything for Hendy right now. You know, or reaching into the second round for Hendy right now.
Yeah.
People do that off of big games and stuff. Something to remember.
All right, almost on the clock here. Ibuka, wow. 5.3. Wow.
Touchdown. Take it into it.
That's crazy, man. That's so high. All right. Do I go with Harvey here? I got 10 seconds. Rice or Hunter?
Harvey or Hunter?
Harvey.
You don't think Rice with Worthy?
You did that.
Kind of feel like I should have did that in hindsight, just because it's hard to get that. But let's go. Harvey should ball. I mean, it should be fine. I mean, at the end of the day,
my mind was just on upside, I guess.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I got to ask myself, if Rice misses, let's say, 6 games, like, he's not scoring what Harvey does, and Harvey's going to ball it all year, so why would I even mess with it, regardless of stacking anything? So I'm going to go ahead and say that Harvey was probably the right call. Harvey, to me, is catching 70 balls. He's catching 70 balls this year. Hassan, I appreciate you with this, and I like this team a lot. The only thing I'm trying to move here is I don't think you can even really move much. Kamara, at some point, I think he'll drop off by week 10. So just maybe you sit on your team, Hassan. I appreciate your super chat, by the way. Sit on your team, and then maybe you look to sell Kamara high, and I think he could start off the year very well. But he's somebody that I would certainly look to trade on the high. And then Tony with this $10 hauler. Appreciate you, Tony. Tony says 12-team PPR, 1K buy-in. Took London, the Drake, Kyren, Tyreek. I don't like Tyreek, but it's all right. Harrison Jr., Sutton, Caleb Johnson with the K. You put it with a C, so I think that's Caleb Johnson, not Caleb Williams. Kelsey, Kyler Murray, and Keon Coleman, Thornton Jr. Any moves to make? We're back to the any moves question. It's so funny when those come in, because that's when you know football is right here. It's like, any moves when someone's got the team assembled already, and it's move time, not draft time. It's what do I do with the team I've just drafted. I like that we're back into that zone. Drake London, Kyron. I'm probably trying to move Tyreek and Caleb Johnson together for one bigger, stronger player. So come to me with whatever you can cook up there. That's where I want you at. Trade, and Caleb's got some nice trade value, so it should work out well. Debo here. This is nice. Mahomes.
Debo.
Debo, if you can get a QB, if you know a QB.
Yeah, I like Nick. I like Nick's a lot. I'm fine if I don't get Mahomes is still a little early here based on the ADP. I mean, I'd be reaching like 15, 20 picks for him, so I'm good not doing it.
Yeah.
Is Branberry, does he get a bold prediction?
Yeah, Branberry, drop your bold prediction with the $50 Hey, RJ, sorry I took Debo if you were trying to stack McLaurin and Debo. I didn't even know you were in that draft slot. I appreciate you, man. I'm sorry about that. He's got McLaurin.
So he said his bold prediction. He said my bold prediction is Sharps will be RB1 by week 4. Now,
okay.
I mean, is it RB1 in the NFL, or is it RB1 over Walker? Which one?
Okay. Yeah. If he's starting by week 4, it could still win. I'm not saying it's not bold, but I think anybody, if an injury strikes, he's the RB1 by week 4. Do you think he takes the job? Maybe that's the better way to word it, potentially. Wow, this team's looking solid. Lamb, Chase Brown, Trey Henderson, Worthy, Harvey, Debo, Mahomey. That's pretty good. That photo of Mahomes.
Yeah, he says starting over Walker.
Okay, so taking the job. I'm gonna write taking the job by week.
Yeah.
Branberry. Hold on, Branberry. Where's my mark?
So.
What'd you say, Travis?
No, I was just gonna say. So that means like it's obvious he's the guy in Seattle, week 4. And how we judge it.
8-16. Branberry. Sharps. Takes job. Week 4. All right. Branberry to the moon. Appreciate you, my boy. Let's send you to Mars, actually.
To Mars.
Bring your coat, young man. It gets awfully cold up in that mug. We got 523 in the building. Please hit that thumb up button if you can. This team's fire. Lamb, Chase Brown, Hendy, Worthy, Harvey, Debo, Mahomey. Next up, I could take... I'm going to try not to do the bully QB thing here. I'm just going to try and draft some depth. Ah, damn, he took Kelsey, though. Who just bully QB? Kelsey with... So he's bully QB quarterback and tight end, that guy. All right.
That's wild.
Damn, man. Well, I'm just going to take the best player available here, and I timed out on Bonix. It's from my queue. Hopefully I didn't take who RJ wanted. Are you gonna take?
Who are you trying to get?
I was gonna draft Evan Ingram and just take the best tight end available.
Yeah.
RDJ's going a different team than normal. I'm kind of proud of him. He's not forcing the ADP or anything. He's just kind of drafting a different team than normal. I think he's also trying not to snipe me, and I'm tipping my hat to him because I feel like he's being very respectful, and it doesn't need to be. He's putting his own hard-earned money in. Nobody ever has to owe anybody anything. But I accidentally stepped on his toes by taking Debo. I don't know if he wanted to. He might not even wanted Debo and McLaurin together. I'm not sure. But RDJ, appreciate you. Sorry, my boy. So Evan Ingram, I shouldn't have even opened my mouth. Let's go with I'm going to go Sharps here. There you go, Branberry. We're doing it live in week 4. Charbonnet's doing it live.
I almost, if there was like a better landing spot, I almost wish Kenneth Walker would get traded because Sharp looks so good, and then they seem to have enough depth that like kind of runs a similar style to Sharps. You know, they're a little bit bigger backs.
I mean,
Martinez and then a couple other guys.
Walker in Washington, Walker in Chicago, Walker in Houston seems very likely. ETN as well. Those are two of the most likely to be traded running backs. I mean, your midseason monster on the middle of the board. Pretty much I mean, there's a reason Sharps is on the middle of the board and he's got like the biggest graphic out of everybody. Is because he's literally the leader of the midseason monsters, which coincides with what Bradbury's predicting. So he's in good company. I'm in good company with Bradbury. But Sharps is a league winner. He's just a league winner. It's why I think he was the number 1 midseason monster, the first one ever, added this year. Sharps, he's right on the board. That's why he's sitting in the center. He's the biggest graphic. He's the leader. He's the leader of the midseason monsters. But, Walker could get hurt. He doesn't have to get traded. But I think they do trade him. And Breece Hall's another trade candidate. I mean, I'm not saying it happens, but it's certainly in the cards to happen. It's not a guarantee he gets traded, but it certainly could happen. I think I'm going to like this pick right here. Go Marvin Mims. I wish I would have got Ingram. Bond is a wild card. I mean, yeah, we've loved Bond. Bond I had ranked higher than Matthew Golden. I still stand to this day. I stand by my pre-NFL draft evaluation of that I liked Bond more than Golden. But, he did end up knew you were overhyping Achane, Smitty. Was trying to tell you. Trying to tell me what, bro? Hold on. Breaking news. I'm already wrong on Achane this year. According to this guy who I've never recognized being here before, honestly, I knew you were overhyping it. Like it's already concluded. Bro, did you get back in the DeLorean right now? Did you break your cane off while you're getting out of the DeLorean? Getting that Gray's Book Sports Almanac? And is it already over? I knew you were overhyping Achane. Was trying to tell you. I was trying to tell you.
Oh, this is the same guy last night that was saying Kyle Shanahan is the top 3 in the league, whether you like it or not, blah, 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 blah. So, I understand.
I was trying to tell you, Smitty. I was in here. I almost saved you. Are we in agreement? Are we in agreement that you're wrong already, Smitty? I really do wonder how some people make it through the season. Like that's an example of, I cannot imagine the stress levels of someone like that watching the games, and like he's got a non-concerning injury that they're just being cautious with because they got a long time before week 1. Let's just sit him out, make sure everything's good. And now Achane's already done. He's already done. I put a fork in him. Hold on. Breaking news again. You didn't see the soft tissue injury? No. I wonder what's in the freaking graphic sitting right here. Jeez, bro.
Funny.
How you getting through the year, bro? How you getting through? If your mom goes out of town, how you getting the batteries for the Game Boy? How you getting your Hot Pockets warmed up? How is any of that happening when you don't have somebody sitting there slaving hand over fist? Carefully, it's already over for Achane. I tried to tell everyone in the chat Smitty was wrong. He was overhyping him. Overhyping a guy that's magnificent for 2 straight years. A guy that's on the mother freaking permanent supernova list.
There are handfuls of Saturn, Mars, and Moon men, but only 8 can be supernovas. I give you the 8 best picks in fantasy football.
They are the 8 supernovas.
Look at these guys. But look at the graduates right here, my bro.
They are the 8 supernovas. The hateful 8 supernovas.
Look at the graduates. Look at them. Look at them. All those home run hitting winners.
At the 8 supernovas.
I knew you were hyping
48 years.
Overhyping Achane. I knew you were doing it. I knew it. Overhyping the guy that won leagues over and over for people already.
Been doing fantasy since before fantasy was around. 48 years.
Yeah.
That's before pencil and paper. I thought I had done it before.
He invented fantasy football. He knows.
I invented it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going home run hitting stackage. So we got Mahomes and Worthy. We got Bo Nix and Mims. We got Penix Jr. and Kyle Pitts. I've got that's my first tight end, so that's fantastic to have the Penix and Kyle Pitts. I got Zach Charbonnet and Bigsby to go with Harvey. And let me scroll up here. So we're rolling with Lamb Chops, Chase Brown, Trey Henderson, Worthy, Harvey, Debo, Mahomes, Bo Nix, Charbonnet. It's a good squad. Look at that squad. All right, you had enough airtime, bro.
Pretty good. Pretty good with Mims.
Yeah, Mims is a great additional wide receiver. He's my wide receiver 4, 5. Wait, what is he? 4? 4. So CeeDee Lamb, Xavier Worthy, Debo, and Mims. So they're split by week 10, by week 12.
You want to hear about this guy reaching on Mims at 99, even though his ADP is at 123?
Where did I reach on him though? 116.
You didn't reach on him too bad.
Yeah, 116, not too bad. Yeah, Pitts is going to ball
But
up.
the guy in my draft got him at 99.
Mm-hmm.
Like 23 picks away.
We got so much time until opening day. What is the date of the Sunday games?
7th, 9th.
What's the date though?
Yeah, it must be 7th, I think.
7th.
Number 7th.
It's crazy how much time we have.
Thursday the 4th.
Anybody's banged up, you know. Let's see here. I think I'll go.
Exactly 3 weeks from that Sunday, yeah. Oh, it's Sunday for me.
I'm going to go. Yeah, so it's so funny. Like anybody, especially when you're being told it's not a big concerning injury at all. It's just like you got to, whenever you got any tightness or anything, you just take it. I mean, you got a little less than a month still to go. We have so many days. Like how many actual days is that? 20, if we account for the Sunday games. Rock out, what day? Let me ask Kruger. Hold on.
Okay.
Kruger, how many days until opening Sunday of the 2025 NFL season? Not talking Thursday. I'm talking about the Sunday game.
All right, Smitty. Counting from today, you're looking at 18 days until the NFL's opening Sunday in 2025. So we're closing in. Just a couple weeks and a few days left, and then it's go time.
And then it's go time. Kruger. And then it's go time. All right. Rambo says Kyren or Hendy. Well, I mean, let me scroll up there, my good sir. You see that I took Henderson over Kyren in this specific draft right here. But I struggle with the question, so it's not like it's it's a rotational type of thing. You know, you're going to rotate it maybe in side-by-side drafts. You're not going to necessarily just be like, oh, I'm not even considering this. Let me go with a good old Pat Bryant with my Marvin Mims, which I think is really smart in best ball. I like that. Thank you, Rambo. Appreciate your super chat. And we got two more here. DJ says, Smitty, 12-man league. I got pick 10. One person not drafting in the first round. Who do I get? I would say that if Jeanty's there, you're smashing the Jeanty. You're doing the Jeanty. That's not a dance. That's a victory formation. It's called the Jeanty. If Jeanty's gone, you're really not wrong for going London there, bro. You're not wrong for going Achane there. Achane at 10 is fantastic. BTJ at 10 is fantastic. Like I said, St. Brown there is fantastic. There's really not, unless it's, Jeanty or Lamb, or somebody that needs to fall that doesn't fall, or someone that doesn't fall that does fall, unless it's like an obvious pick like that, like Lamb or whatever. I would kind of lean toward Jeanty being my favorite and most likely player to fall for you. And I think some people will still be scared off a little bit. They don't watch a lot. They hear a lot of negative stuff, and maybe they don't hear all of the course corrections that people are making. Who knows? So I think Jeanty will potentially still fall. Where did Jeanty go in this draft? He went at number 16. What in the hell? I didn't even look at that. So apparently he's there. He's going to be there at 10. Jeanty's a smash, my boy. Wow. That's wild.
Especially now, since he's not going to play. He's done.
He's done. You're done.
We're in the 5th round now.
Jeez, man. I timed out. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know how early that. Yoshi Voss, I don't mind it. I like him, but I didn't mean to grab him there. He was just in the queue.
Yeah.
But
doesn't hurt the team though.
Sorry everyone. I didn't mean to time out on that.
Doesn't think Jeanty will be there.
Then I think London is a really good pick, but Achane's also good. If you need a running back, you're not even crazy to go Bucky there. Honestly. You're not crazy going Bucky there. But I probably would say you're more likely to get Bucky in 10 than the corresponding second round pick than you are Bucky. So try and go London Bucky. I think you can probably get London Bucky pretty easily.
Oh, your league.
Yeah. Do you think London Bucky, DJ, is a likely scenario for you? If so, I think that's where I'm leaning. I think it's just the smarter avenue.
Bucky was capped. Oh, so there's Bucky was capped, so there's keepers. Yeah, so.
Okay.
One thing I'm gonna say quick is with all the stuff about Hunter, everyone talking about Hunter, it's just kind of allowed BTJ to just fly under the radar and just do what he has to do to get ready. So, I think he's gonna have a huge year.
Yeah, BTJ is a good pick too. I'd say my order would be London, Achane, BTJ, or London, BTJ, Achane. And then in the second round, my only concern is if you don't get Achane, and given that there's keepers, you're not going to get a good running back. Maybe. Right. So I kind of lean, maybe I lean Achane now. Yeah, go Achane in round 1, and then you'll probably still get a great wide receiver. Drafted from the 4 pick, got Gibbs, Kyren, Bowers, Harvey, Rice, Hunter, Mahomes. I bet that guy's stewing in the chat about me giving Achane in round 1 advice. He's like, I thought we talked about this, Smitty. You were overhyping Achane. Didn't we just agree? Drafted from the 4-pick, got Gibbs, Kyren, Bowers, Harvey, Rice, Hunter, Mahomes, Debo. Fantastic squad, bro. Love it, love it, love it. What a team. Doing it live. Don't think you could even... There's not much to even move. You can't even trade anything. It's non-PPR. I don't like hearing that, but... You know, it changes not very much because everything's relative, but... I mean, it makes Bowers as a second rounder a little tougher, and you got him in 3, so you're fine. Harvey's, you know, obviously going to catch like 70 balls. Gibbs like 70 balls, so it kind of hurts you there because you had an advantage over everyone that you would have. So I guess it does hit you a little bit. But it's still a good team. I mean, I'd still draft this exact team if I could in a non-best ball. So it's not, or I'm sorry, a non-PPR. But that sucks. It's no PPR. That really does suck. I think my team is complete. I'll probably roll with an extra wide receiver instead of... Guess I'll go Royals. Yeah, I don't know what I'd advise you to do anyway. Your team's really good. I don't really want to trade any of those guys. You're waiting on Rice. Make sure you can get Royals if Royals is available to cuff to Rice. But past that, I'm kind of just standing pat. That team is phenomenal. I like every single one of your starters, and I'm not trying to get out of any of that. It's a really good team, my boy. Really, really good team. Royals is a nice cuff. Yeah, Tesla. I was looking for Tesla, and he went in the freaking 12th round. Who's doing that? You didn't need to do that. RDJ, you got the highest or second highest projected points from the 2 spot. Let's see what you did, because I was proud of you. Not like you went in a total different direction. He didn't try and, you know, grab all these guys really early. You went Bijan Robinson, JT, Higgins, Walker, McLaurin, Swift, Pollard, Hawkinson, Purdy, May. I mean, some of those guys I'm not super big fans of, but like I'm glad you're trying something different. So nice work on that. And then the 1 spot, Chase, Hill, JSN, Kamara, Burrow, Pacheco. No, actually not bad going no running backs till a little bit later. It worked out pretty well. Barkley, Harrison, Hampton, Ridley, Buka, Judy. Decent team. Is it winning? No. KD from the 4 spot. Gibbs, Bowers, McMillan. God, McMillan in the 3rd. This is what I'm talking about. No. I mean, look, I like McMillan, but I mean, you can't take him at the top of 3. Who did that? KD? Taking McMillan at the top of 3. You're not. I mean, I love Buka's better than McMillan, and I'm not taking him in the 4th round, let alone the 3rd round. This is what I'm talking about. I hate that I got to tear the man down the size that I like. I like Ted McMillan, but the 3rd round, what the hell's wrong with people? JMO, total reach. Sutton's even a reach. Jacoby Myers is a reach. There's 4 straight reaches right there. Team's toast. Pick 5. Lamb. Oh, this is me. Looks good. Whenever I run back into my team, because I do like 2 or 3 drafts, I always forget like what team I'm on. I forget who's on my roster. I get to it. I'm like, I either like it or I hate it. I'm like, that's a good team. Lamb, Chase Brown, Hendy, Worthy, Harvey, Debo, Mahomes, Nix, Charbonnet, Mims. I mean, that team's running circles around that Ted McMillan, J-Mo, Sutton, Jacoby Myers team. What are we doing back there? JJ, Henry, McBride, Hall, DJ Moore, Olave. Yeah, I mean, I like some of this team, but this feels like my other team that I didn't love, the one before this, where it's like, DJ Moore, Olave, Cup. I'm sure you feel the same way about your receivers as I did. It's just kind of like, didn't really fall. Nico, and that's okay. It doesn't fall sometimes. It doesn't mean anything was done wrong. This is a guy that did double QB, double tight end. Let's see how it looks. Nico, AJB, Lamar, Hurts, Smith, Devontae Smith. Okay, some good stackage. And James Conner and Laporta, Kelsey. Did he get Benson as well? Don't think so. Nope, you missed him. The 3 spot got him. I would like this team a lot better if you had Benson. And then what do we got here? Achane, McConkey, Garrett Wilson, James Cook, Metcalf, Jennings, Monty, McCaffrey, Jeanty, Allen, Evans, Hunter, Golden, Shakir, Mayfield. We've got Malik, BTJ, Jacobs, Kittle, Hubbard, Flowers, Addison, Warren. Don't love the McCarthy pick. Sorry, Sick Nasty. You probably getting so tired of me not loving McCarthy. London. Maybe I'm going to like McCarthy later like I like Dart more now. It's very possible. I just don't feel it right now.
Dart looks better than McCarthy throwing the ball.
Dart looks pretty good. I admit.
So does Shador. I know both are going to be unpopular.
Yeah, Shador. Shador looks really good. But yeah, Dart.
Saying what I see. I don't know.
Okay. London, Bucky, Pickens, JD5, Pearsall. Come on, Pearsall. No. Is that the... well, I guess it's the end of round 5. But I don't know. I think you're taking him too early. I mean, I'd rather have Rice than Pearsall, even with a 6-game suspension. Because you're plugging other players in. Other players are being plugged in for you. And then you're getting that top 5 wide receiver once he's back. Dunze, it's a very good start. St. Brown, Nakua, Kyren, Adams, Rice, Waddle, Reed, Downs, Godwin, Mooney. Let's see what you did at running back, because, I mean, you started off really good, and then you just started getting, like, addicted to drafting wide receivers. And you still did. You didn't even... Like, Algier, Eckler, and Sanders, you screwed up. The team screwed up. You screwed it up. You had a really decent start. St. Brown, Nakua, Kyren, Adams, Rice. I'm still on board at that point. And you go Waddle and Reed, and I'm like, okay, if you like that, that's fine. Differing opinions, but you do you. And then you get the Downs, and you're like, okay, all right, slow down, bro. And then you go Godwin and Mooney and Christian Kirk. Mooney's out. Mooney's out multiple games at least. Godwin's not going to. What are we doing? Those 3 picks are a waste. And you could have beefed up. And then you go Love and Ward. You still haven't drafted a running back 2 yet. And you go Algier, Eckler, and Sanders. The team's done. It's cooked. Good start, though. Absolutely cooked it. Left it in the microwave way too long, bro. Way too long. We got healing with the super chat here. BB, Rank, Fields, Dak, May, Douglas, or Kyle Williams. Okay, separate. I'm going to go Douglas for now. It's not Dynasty, so Hop. I'm so tired, man. And then Fields, Dak, May. I'm going to go... Who do you guys like, Dak or Fields more? I don't know, man.
I
think Dak's going to ball.
I like Dak, but Fields, like, when we did those, like, kind of baseline stats last night, it's not hard for him to be a top 10 quarterback. Dak is probably safe.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to try.
I'll probably cuff him to Milton. I know a lot of people are going to be down on Milton right now, but people got to remember, like, Milton's out there throwing. He's at the mercy of the wide receivers running routes. And it's not like he's got Lamb and Pickens out there, you know. And so, like, even the coach said, after the game, he's like, it's not all on Joe. He's like, it's the team didn't, like, step up. They weren't where they needed to be. Like, Milton can't just, if things, and this goes to the depth of the team. Like, if something were to happen, then clearly their depth isn't better than the other team. Like, who wins the preseasons? Whose depth is better? So the Cowboys are struggling a little bit, but Loaf, I think you're in the wrong place because you're like Smitty. Let me show you all. Let me show you all of your messages of how much of a hater you are of mine.
All caps.
Yeah, all caps. So here we go. Smitty, eat your words on Parasol. Smitty doesn't like. I can even give that comment justification. Let's see here. Where's this other one? Smitty, all capitals. Worthy is your wide receiver too. Laughing my ass off. How can you laugh your ass off on Worthy being your wide receiver? Debo Samuels. I'm gonna hate on everything you do. I don't know why. Why are you even here? Yet here you are watching my show. Here you are watching my show. You're just consuming. It's 3 a.m.
All white wide receivers.
It's 3 a.m. Eastern. You're watching my show. Tight end 1. Oh, like here you are watching my show, hating on me. Over and over and over. You everything is just you're trying. What are you trying to do? You're trying to show people how amazing you are. Like you're turning my chat on me. Not even rage bait. I just think Debo's a joke. Okay. We can tell you really judge things based on football. I just really think Debo's a joke. That's why I don't like him. I can't believe it.
Spends too much time on Twitter. Listens to Twitter.
He's a Twitter warrior.
Why are you here? I'm just asking serious. Why are you here? You're gonna give me the same like cookie cutter, You're a fan. I don't think you're a fan. I don't think you're a fan at all. I don't think anybody here thinks you're a fan.
Just yelling into the keyboard.
But let me yell again. But Xavier Worthy?
No Worthy. No Worthy. No Worthy.
Unbelievable. I can't fix.
Believe it.
There's some things I can't fix, guys. That's one of them right there. What's fun is watching. What's fun is watching people when they disagree with something think I have to be wrong because they disagree with it. Like here's this guy. This guy thinks that Debo's so bad. Like he's clearly a Niner fan. You're gonna eat your words on Worthy and Pearsall. I'm sorry. You're gonna eat your words on Pearsall. Debo's like he didn't even say Debo lost the step. He said Debo's a joke. Like he's taking a personal shot at Debo. He's offended by Debo. Like his off the field antics. I mean, bro, I got a psych degree. Okay, I can analyze you like it's nothing. You're really bent out of shape about Debo from another angle, and you're saying Debo. You just said Debo's a joke. You didn't say his play's a joke. You didn't say Debo's lost a step. Debo's whatever, the same old song and dance everybody says about Debo. You said he's a joke. The Niners have the easiest schedule. I wonder what your team is. I wonder, you hate Debo because he left. You hate Debo because he left. He's a joke. He's a joke. Off the field, he's a joke.
Whoa.
And then it's the Niners this, Niners that. Worthy, you hate the Chiefs. Yeah, I wonder why the Niners hate the Chiefs. Because the Chiefs own you. Mahomes is your daddy. Mahomes is your daddy, your papa, and Worthy's on that team, so Worthy's a joke. You don't even know ball if you're thinking all Niner. You're not even evaluating this from a football perspective. It's unbelievable. Worthy is, but Worthy? Yeah, Worthy. Yeah, Worthy. Bro, what wide receiver number do you think Worthy was in his final 5 played games? Nobody tell him. Unfortunately for you, he was wide receiver 2. Extrapolate that. I mean, Mahomes is your papa. Your papa? Yeah. Hey, son. I'm your papa. All right. Yeah, he doesn't even know. No offense, Loaf, but you don't know fantasy football, let alone ball. You know maybe you know Niner ball. Like I don't even know if you do or not. But you're a Mahomes Knight, and then he says this right here. Give up. Give up. Give up what? Give up the argument? Like, you think you won again? Like, give up. KC not even winning the AFC West. Give up. I'm so anti Mahomes and the Chiefs because my team's the Niners, and I live in a world where I scream in all caps, and I live in a world where everything is for the Niners.
Yeah, you're not even from near KC, so you can't like a player unless you live near where they play.
Am I supposed to be a fan of KC? You're not even from near KC. What's that have to do with anything?
That's irrelevant.
Do you know where you
Smitty,
are?
Who is your favorite team?
But hold on one second. Do you know where you are? I don't think you know where you are. Can somebody show up the door? Because he's got to find another channel. He thinks he's in a world where I'm going to use what teams I like to give information. All right, enough of him, bro. You're done. You're done. I'm going to put you in at least a long timeout, and you can think about your actions. You want to come back and be this ridiculous? I'll put you in a 10-minute timeout. You can come back, maybe, and then we'll see how you are. And then if not, you're probably done.
You're done.
Unbelievable. All right, let me get through these super chats.
So just banging away.
Oh yeah, he's all caps. At least tell me like your caps lock broke or something. But I saw you had lowercase a couple times, so that's not true. I'm gonna say Dak Prescott if I didn't answer this, and then Fields for safety. But I would say Fields over Dak for like upside maybe, but it's a little bit riskier. And it's not about like you know scare money don't make money type of thing. It's just Dak is safer and they're both high upside.
You get a second part to that. Yeah.
Healing said, didn't Smitty predict the Broncos to win the division? He doesn't know what he doesn't know what I know. Like he doesn't know what I know, and he doesn't know what I think. He just is like for anybody to come into my show and go, you don't even live near KC. Like how can you rank Mahomes so high? You don't even live near Kansas City. Like what are we doing? What do we do? I don't even know how to respond to that. This guy, I think this guy will win an argument with me because I wouldn't know how to respond to that. Like, it's like one of those people you can't get through to. It's like, I feel like I lost the argument. You don't even live near KC. Your Mahomes pick your fantasy football prediction isn't good. You don't even live near KC. The hot pocket, where is it? All right, let me go to the phone line and then I'll, I got, Jay. I got what?
Healing asked also. Healing in that super chat was also asking tomorrow, Pop Douglas or Kyle Williams.
Yeah, I answered that when I said Pop. Oh,
my bad.
Yeah, that's right. J1, you're live. Appreciate it.
Hey, brother, man. Loafman's got the right name, man. He's been pinching off a lot of them tonight. But it was an interstellar day today for the Smitty family, man. They were rockets flying all over the place.
Yeah, we had a good day.
Fantastic football day. It was beautiful, man. And you cracked me up by having your finger on the hang-up button, but you gave the guy a reprise. That made me laugh for about 5 minutes. And then Adrian Peterson kind of reminds me of Hendy a little bit. I got a couple flashbacks.
Yeah, it's not a bad comp. I think I thought of it today. It was kind of like a...
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Was it Lev Bell? Now I'm blanking on what I said, but like Lev Bell in a way. I don't know.
Yeah. That too.
Yeah.
A sturdy fellow.
Someone said LeSean McCoy, right?
Yeah, look, McCoy wasn't bad either. I mean, he's a comp of a lot of players, but Lev Bell makes sense for me in some way because of the way Hendy can kind of like... He can go like sharp left, then straight. It's almost like Forrest Gump. Just boom, boom, boom.
Yes, like Sanders used to do, man. Get guys out of their shoes.
He's
Seattle. He's my favorite football player ever. I saw him play a few times, and
who?
It was awesome. His greatest game against the Niners, Sanders.
Oh, Sanders, yeah.
From Detroit. Yeah, he was. Right. I was at one of his greatest games at Candlestick. I'm a native San Franciscan. But nonetheless, Seattle looked awesome today, man. They looked beautiful. I mean, I'm definitely going to have some shares of Walker, Charbonnet stack. because you get number ones either way. I think Bobo's going to take over from Cup soon. Bobo.
Well, I like him, but I do think Horton will eventually be the two. But that doesn't mean that Bobo can't be like a really good and still very productive and sometimes outperform the two. You know, it depends on where they line up. You know, and how many. You know, how often do they do like 11 personnel? You know, we'll have to see what they're running. I think we could look at the preseason as a nice indication, but I think Milroe eventually. I agree with you. I think Seattle looks good. These are preseason games. This is kind of like a measuring of depth in some ways, but I think that that Milroe eventually gets in there, and I think that's when this team takes a huge step forward. I like Milroe a lot. They're doing tush-push stuff with him, and he's really good.
I agree, and my beloved Niners, they could not run the ball at all today. They're going to be. I've given up on them this year as far as bets and stuff, but overall today for the Smitty family, it was glorious, man. I mean, I'm surprised. Some rockets didn't crash into each other, and I've been playing fantasy about as long as you have. And what I've noticed, I can't remember such a target-rich environment this season. In both wide receiver, running back, quarterback, it's going to be an amazing year, I think, overall.
Yeah,
for football.
I think yesterday we got a little bit of like not everything's going to be rose petals and butterflies and white doves. We're going to have some injuries that strike. We're going to have like the Rashee Rice stuff was kind of a little bit of a, I don't want to say a miss yet because we don't know. We don't know. I mean, we have Tom Pelissero telling me that I'm wrong and telling the whole world that that Smitty missed on expecting a 2 to 4 game suspension. And we're being told that 10 was wanted by the league, but we have no other evidence of that. And we have no evidence that that's even where it's going to go. It could go to 6, it could go to 4. There's no precedent for 10 or even 8. So my guess is that worst case scenario, I'm off by 2 games. But so yesterday was kind of like, that was kind of a downer day in a way, because there's a lot of Rice hype on this channel. But man, we crushed it out of the park today. It was nonstop.
It was.
I think Achane's not a real negative one either. I mean, Achane's injury is said to be very minor. They're just being cautious with him.
Soft tissue stuff happens. Yeah, it's just minor. I can't. But again, we've been around this so many years. The hype monsters they're just ignorant, man, or they're very young, maybe 20, 18, 17, and they like to troll or get some attention or whatever.
Yeah, talking caps.
I wish more guys like that were in my leagues. But it was interesting on the Rice issue. Florio had a great description of the process, and something I forgot about was, and we touched on it in our last discussion. I'll let you go. But the power of a video is extremely powerful, and I'd forgotten about this. But the Savage Ray Rice issue, where he knocks out his girlfriend in the elevator, he had already gone through the process, got a 2-day suspension, and then the video leaked out, and he never played again. The power of the video is extremely, extremely influential. And when you couple the whole thing together, I think my instincts of them trying to make an example of to change the behavior of some of these young men, it's kind of going down that lane, because they don't want any more, driving incidences, right, of high speed or, God forbid, deaths or whatever. And I think, and he explained the process very clearly. It's like there's
I like Florio because he's a smart guy and he's an attorney, but he's an attorney and he's got a good background. But he also he's not extremely accurate with a lot of these predictions, unfortunately.
No,
he can be. But all I'll say real quickly on that is that at the end of the day, this is a kid that doesn't have there's no proven alcohol in the situation really. And we don't know what evidence the NFL has that we can't see everything, right? So there's stuff we do wonder and worry about that might pop up. But at the end of the day, You're talking about they want the Rice camp and the NFLPA want to take this to the hearing, so they're clearly not scared that they go to the hearing and they get even worse news.
Right.
So they're laughing at the 10. If the 10 thing's even correct, it might be an 8, and then Pelissero's wrong. You know, and it was like they
For all
brought.
we know, it might be 6. Just
Yeah.
too much for them, right?
But no, I'm saying that the proposal of the NFL, like, hey, we're
Right.
gonna give you a 10 game. Yeah, it could be 7, it could be 8, it could be 6. And the NFLPA
Right.
doesn't want anything. They're probably saying, look, this should be a fine. So we don't even know.
They're making your argument.
Yeah. So we're looking at maybe the middle ground being 6. That's kind of where my guess is right now, 6 games. And if they can agree upon that, if the NFLPA and Rice's side, Rice's camp, if they are okay with saying, look, Rashee, if we go to the hearing, we're going to end up, I'm sorry, David, if you want to call back in, I'll let you. He's been hanging on for like 30 minutes. The NFLPA, if they go to him and say, look, if we take this to the hearing, you could get at least 6, but you could have a chance of getting 8 if you take us to the hearing. Take the 6 games. In the NFL, it's in their best interest to not drag this out with a media circus, because now the Addison thing's gone. It's done. Nobody's talking about it. It's all out of the way. So it's in the NFL's best interest to offer something that the Rice side's going to go, we're probably not getting that in the hearing. So what is that number? The number's probably 6 or even 5 or 4 or whatever. But I don't think that the Rice camp is going to go, give me 8, give me 7, give me 10. They're just going to be like, take it to the hearing. Like, what do we have to lose? He's a non-repeat offender. This is his first time getting in trouble. And I'm not saying he didn't do a bad thing, but he's a first-time offender. There's no proven alcohol involved. It's not in the case. You can say what you want about why he ran off the freeway and make speculative, arguments, but that's not how it works. So it's like he ran off the freeway, cowardly act. I said it about him and all of his entourage. Bunch of cowards, what they did. Instead of going and helping people that might be hurt, they run off the freeway like cowards. I've already addressed that. He was in a bad spot. He made a bad decision. And like I said to a lot of people watching right now, can everybody out there say that when they were in college, they didn't maybe drive home when they shouldn't have or something, and you got lucky? Did you ever maybe do anything in your past where you got really lucky? You jump off the roof at your house into the pool and got really lucky? Like, how many people made mistakes that are this bad that could have really hurt people and you got lucky? So I'm not saying that Rice is a saint by any means, but I think he's a young kid that made a mistake and he has no prior history. He's not going to get 10 games. What are you doing?
Yeah, and I think in this situation, again, I promise this will be the last.
Yeah, I got to roll
to the other caller, but I don't think, however this pans out, there are arguments for both sides. My worries are, I hope it's possible that he takes a deal before the hearing and his suspension is conducted earlier, say it's 6 games, because if it goes after the hearing, I can't draft him, man. That's just the meat of the fantasy season.
Yeah, I completely disagree. I completely disagree with people on this take. I like him better when he's serving suspension later. 100%.
Oh, okay.
My rationale, and I hear people talking about this, and I just disagree with them. I know people are going to say bye weeks. I know people are going to say this is the fantasy playoffs. It's not the fantasy playoffs. He's not getting 10 games. And if he got 6 and played 4, I don't care if he's missing the middle part of the year or the beginning of the year. Technically speaking, it doesn't really matter. I'd rather get out to a hot start than be way behind. And then when he comes back, he's going to be rusty. He's going to have cobwebs all over him. And his whole team's going to have moved on without him. And fitting somebody back in is a lot harder than stepping out while you've already been in a rhythm with everybody. The Mahomes and the Chiefs are far better off with him playing weeks 1 through 4, getting off to a hot start. They have 3 really tough games in that 4 weeks span anyway. And they're literally going to get off to a hot start. And just like a player gets banged up in the middle of the year, misses 2 or 3 games and comes back and gets right on fire again, you can't do that from a 4-week hiatus at the beginning of the year when your team is not used to playing with you. So you end up missing maybe more games because he plays like shit for a game or 2 when he comes back. So I totally disagree with this. Everybody's talking about it, and I 100% disagree with everybody. And if anything, the hearing also is more likely to be less because like I said, the NFLPA and Rice wouldn't go to the hearing if they didn't think they were going to get less than what's being offered that he would accept. So if he accepts something before the hearing, he's getting suspended at the initial beginning part of the year. If they take it to the hearing, it's going to be a lesser number, most likely, unless they really botch what they're going on and their assessment of this thing's off. They're probably getting a lower number, but you never know. It's all about who's arbitrating the whole thing or overseeing it. I believe it's the same person that did the Deshaun Watson situation, but this guy's a one-time offender. Like Deshaun Watson got, what was it, 10, 11 games? What was it, 11 games?
Yeah,
you think Deshaun Watson's situation, that was egregious compared to this one?
That was terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So what you're gonna give somebody? And I'm not saying that what he did was horrible, but
I understand.
we're lucky no one did get injured severely,
right.
And so you have to judge that. Had he had something really bad happen to somebody involved, this would carry different consequences. He got lucky. And that's the bottom line. All right, I gotta roll, bro. I gotta roll. Appreciate you, man. Later. All right, I'm just never gonna get off that. Okay, rock out. Final thoughts. I gotta leave.
Once upon a time, Trey McBride saw to quarterbacks cross streams.
Wait, what? Would you say? I hit the wrong button.
What do you think about Meyer?
Jacoby?
Yeah.
I don't think much at all about him. I don't hate him. I don't avoid him, but I rarely
36 wide receiver.
I rarely ever draft him. Anything else?
That's it for right now.
All right, rock out. Appreciate your amazing rap. And give me a. I usually have you give me something here. Give me a prediction on. Give me a week 1 Hendy prediction on your way out the door. Go. Stat line. Hendy. Rock out.
110 yards, 50 yards receiving, 4 receptions,
Woo!
And 1 touchdown.
Take it. 160 and a tutty.
Jeez. Hey, Rock, I like it. All right, Rock, I will see you tomorrow. Later.
All right.
All right. Travis, final thoughts.
Yeah, I just got a quick question. Well, kind of twofold question. On Nick in the chat is wondering, he has Achane. Should he drop either Shipley or Sean Tucker to pick up Ollie Gordon? Which one?
And he doesn't have Bucky?
No, I don't think he has Bucky or Barkley.
Thank you, Jonah. Appreciate the kind words. I'd probably say man, that's so tough because I like Sean Tucker more than I like Shipley, but Shipley's maybe in a better situation because Barkley's oversaturation of work last year puts Shipley in at least 1, 2, 3 starts this year minimum, in my opinion. Whereas Sean Tucker, part of me is biasly not wanting him to touch the field, but Tucker's the better player. Shipley's in the better spot. So go with I guess I would cut Tucker but monitor him because he is the backup to Bucky. It's not Rashad White.
All right, and
no matter what people want to
seem
say.
like Ollie Gordon is kind of starting to run away with that backup job, or you think it's still up in the air, right?
It's still very much up in the air, but I think Ollie Gordon's the goal line guy, which is more important. So if they're going to share the backup role, you want the guy that's going to be the one they count on in the goal line situations who will probably take over. Because they're going to be like, look, I might as well just keep giving him the ball in all short yardage. Sorry, Jalen Wright. I like Wright, but I like Gordon better. Ollie Gordon's the backup. Just like Sean Tucker. Like Wright might be, technically speaking, the backup, and some might look at Rashad White as the backup. Rashad White's already been told he's not a part of this offense as much as and he's already announced to the fan base that he's not returning in 2026. What do you think that means? That means that he's being phased out. Bucky's turning into a 3-down back this year, and he wasn't last year. He's turning into a 3-down back, and Sean Tucker's by clearly the number one backup to Bucky, and his own staff has said we got to get him the ball a ton. We got to, like, even with Bucky on the field, we got to give Sean Tucker the ball. Sean Tucker's the first and second down replacement if something happened to Bucky. Not Rachaad White. It's not going to happen. They've already, like, Sean Tucker's so good, and Rachaad White's on his way out. He might even get traded. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it does seem like Ollie Gordon could maybe do that Mostert thing where Wright is the actual backup to Achane. So
yeah,
interesting to see.
All right, Loaf. I thought I'd give you another try, but now you're going at it again. So guess what?
He says
you're done.
Says the thing that all the haters say.
Yeah.
It's
Why you gotta do that? I give you one more try, Loaf. I just said come in and just behave. What do? You come in, you just keep typing over and over and over. So now you're done. You're done. I don't know why people do that. They love the show so much. He's sitting here, living here it's 3:04 a.m. Eastern, and he's watching this show. He chooses to watch this show. He's not sleeping. The show's obviously important to him, but then he can't behave. And I tell him, I warn him, come back in after your timeout. Just behave. You could be bold. You could say things. You don't have to. Don't disagreeing. It's fine, but it's the behavior. It's trying to uproot the chat and control the chat and flip it upside down and just put it in a blender. And so you come back in and that's what you do. You're done. Like I don't understand. If you love the show so much, why do you do that to yourself? Why do you get rid of the show if you love the show?
So funny because they all, every single hater comes in and be like, "Yeah, Travis, you never disagree with Smitty." Like just clockwork. It doesn't affect me. But it's just funny how they all say it.
Yeah.
That's their good thing. All right, Smitty, I'll let you run.
All right, later, bro. Appreciate you.
See you. Bye.
See you tomorrow. Blair, appreciate you very much. Eric dropping the super wattage. Smitty, can you throw me on the Travis Hunter video? Also, you planning to do a drop video on how to draft from the 12th spot? I am. Hang tight on that. Scotty, you got 10 seconds because I've already closed the phone line. I opened it for you. Appreciate you, by the way. Real quickly.
Okay, you're not writing nothing down then, dude. Maybe another time.
Well, just read it off real quickly, and I'll do it the best I can. Eric, thank you for the super chat. I'm going to celebrate that in 1 second. Blair, thank you. I'll read these two. Go ahead, Scotty, real quickly.
Okay, quarterback is JD5. Running backs are Kyren Jeanty. Kenneth Walker.
Jeez. Okay.
Garendo and Sharps are the bench. And then for my wide receivers, I have CeeDee Lamb, Rashee Rice, Debo, Hunter, Ibuka, and Pop Douglas.
That's great, bro.
And my two tight ends are Travis Kelce and Pitt.
Okay. What could you possibly need help with?
Well, I have an offer, but
okay.
This guy really wants Jeanty and Rice, and I mean I love them both. I love them both, dude. I think they're both gonna be top 5, right? But how long is Rice gonna be suspended for? We don't know. Is that gonna hurt me? My chances of getting the playoffs, or is my team solid enough where
it's solid, bro?
I don't need to make any moves like Jahmyr Gibbs or Bucky or anything.
No, you're fine, bro. You're fine. Your team is loaded. Your team is absolutely loaded.
Just roll with it then.
Yeah. I mean, it depends what the offer is. What's the offer?
Well, he has Gibbs. I was thinking of maybe countering, but he wants my Achane Jeanty and Rashee Rice for Bucky, really Mason. But he has George Kittle. If I could somehow.
Oh, that trade, yeah, that trade. No. I don't. I mean, I like Bucky. If you were to get Kittle and Bucky for Jeanty. I mean, it's pretty solid for this year, but then one calendar year from today, you're regretting doing it maybe. And I'm not even saying that Bucky can't be like number 4, 5, 6 every year, but Jeanty could be 1 or 2, 1, 2, 3, 1 every year. No news on Mooney except for, bro, he's out a while, they said. Like, they hope to have him back some point this year. That means he's out for weeks of the season. Yeah, so no, I'm not doing that. If he gave you Gibbs, like, if he wants Jeanty bad, bro, just close the door on his face and say, come back when you're ready to trade Gibbs and Kittle. Boom, and slam the door. And that's it. And then if he knocks again, you just slam the door in his face. Go, where's Gibbs? Bye. Slam the door. Like, this guy wants Jeanty bad. He's going to give you Gibbs. Or he doesn't want him that bad. So you just hold on to him. Jeanty to the moon, bro.
So if what if he came and offered like Gibbs, Ridley, Jordan Mason, George Kittle for Rice and Jeanty, and if he wanted like
No. Why are you giving Rice up? Okay. Rice is a top 5 wide receiver per start. Don't worry about this year in this question too. Like, you got to worry about the future years.
Okay, I'll just roll with it then.
Yeah. Just do this. Close the door on it, but mention, hey, you come back with like Kittle and Gibbs, then I'll do it. If not, I don't want to trade him. He's like, I'm not giving you Go good. I don't want to do the deal then. and then we'll see what he really wants. All right, later, bro. All right, yeah. Phone line's closed. Sorry, guys. Phone line's closed. I'm gonna actually close it so that way it's done. You're done. The phone line's done. If it helps the league IDP, why I took Hunter, low-key think I'm cooked at QB. Okay, let's see what Blair says right here. Oh, no, first I got to do this $20 holler. Smitty, can you throw me on the Travis Hunter video? Also, you planning on doing a drop? Yes, I'll do a 12 best draft from 12, best draft from 11, best draft from 10. I'll break every draft slot down. I got little time to do it too, so I got to hurry up. And you want to go on the Hunter video? You got it.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start.
Warning, warning. Cheat code activated.
Thank you very much for those super chats, Eric. You're the man. Blair says CD keeper, Gibbs keeper, Chase Brown, Trey McBride. Love this start. JSN, Hampton, Ted McMillan, Travis Hunter, Garrett Wilson, Scadaboo, Bryce Young, Tootin, Tesla, Milrow, and any advice? Oh yeah, I don't see a quarterback. You are right from this message. You're cooked at QB. Well, it's an 8-man league, so who's out there on waiver? You know, Blair, I'll wait for you, but who's out there on waivers? Is Penix Jr. out there? Is Cam Ward out there? You're in an 8-man league. You cannot tell me that Penix Jr., Cam Ward, like someone like that's not out there on waivers. I'm in a 10-man league right now, and 10-man, not 8-man league, a 10-man league that I'm drafting in. It's my longtime buddy league. I love that it's 10-man. I normally don't play in any 10-mans. I do play in this one, and I love it. I think it's awesome. Why? Because it's my only 10-man I have, and I enjoy it. It's fun to have it. It's historically the way it is. We've got Ward on waivers. He'll go undrafted. Ward is going to go undrafted. Penix Jr., the only reason Penix Jr. got drafted because I drafted 3 quarterbacks. Otherwise, he would be out there. So you're not cooked if Penix Jr. is out there, if Fields is out there, if Ward is out there. And Blair is such a baller. Blair's going to super chat an answer to me, which is, I appreciate that. I dig that. Cam and Penix taken. Best available is Darnold or Geno. How? In an 8-man league? Is it Superflex? No, it's 1 QB. How is that all that's available? And how did you punt the quarterback position that far? I mean, you had to have seen them get knocked off the board, but an 8-man league, I've never heard of such a thing. An 8-man league, 1 QB, you don't have guys like that sitting out there? All right, so what is the trade? if it helps the league IDP, that's why I took Hunter. I love Hunter and IDP. You're unbelievable. Oh, you have Bryce Young. I didn't see that. You're fine. Start Bryce Young. I'm fine with that. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. Bryce Young's pretty good, man. I mean, given how good your team is all over, I think you could try and make a trade though. I'm sorry, I didn't even see a Bryce Young. I was flying through that and I did not even see Bryce Young there. I wouldn't worry. I would give it a try. Give it a test drive all year and see how it shapes out. And then if you can't, maybe you trade, let's say I don't know, let's address it after week 1. Let's let Bryce Young start a game. I think he deserves it, to be honest with you. I'm fine with it. With your situation, I'm fine with Bryce Young there. I like it. I'm actually intrigued by it. I want you to be intrigued by it. I want you to be a little excited about throwing Bryce Young out there in week 1. Let's see what happens. Does everybody agree in the chat? Let's give Blair a little bit of confidence here. Is everybody okay with Bryce Young starting week 1? Given how good Blair's team is. And again, let me put Blair's squad back up on the screen. It's a phenomenal squad. And you can weather through this. Where's Blair's super chat? Oh, here it is. Yeah, not to mention, you can make a trade. Like, Ted McMillan can't get you a Penix Jr., and you don't really even need Ted McMillan. You could trade Ted McMillan if you wanted. You got Garrett Wilson. You got Travis Hunter. I probably would hold on to him if you can. Let Bryce Young play. Maybe Tootin is your trade piece later. I don't want to trade Tet here in this situation. I do think Tet's important to your lineup. So let's not move it. Let's put Bryce Young out there. Let's root for the young man. And let's have a day. All right, so let it ride. I think the chat's probably spoken that you should give. Let him ride. Let him do it live. Let's see here. Can you please put me on the JD5 video? Also, he's the best QB in football 5 years from now. Thank you for all you do. Lewis, you bet. And JD5, the 2-5s video, right? That's the only main JD5 video. There's that's it. That's the JD5 video. I think I had another JD5 video though somewhere. But appreciate your super chat. Let's do it live. I think that's the one you want, right? The JD5. There are 2 5s. That one. Is that correct?
There are 2 5s? JD5? AR5? There can't be.
Oh no. They're gonna cross streams. Oops. Well, damn. He's a fragile Freddy.
He's a 5. JD5 is the only 5. JD5 is him, and now all can see. He graduated from Himothy University. Unleash the Washington Kraken. JD5 to Saturn
and beyond.
To Saturn
and beyond.
Supernova.
All right, last call for the videos at $20. It goes back to 100 bills later. You want to be in a video, it's $100 haulers. This is the only fire sale day we're doing it because otherwise we're going to load them up and there's going to be no spots anywhere. $100 hauler after tonight. No exceptions. No exceptions. This is a $20 fire sale. Thank you, Lewis. Appreciate you. I will see you all tomorrow. I'll play a video so I could give people time to react if they wanted to add another one. Let's see, what are we playing here on the way out the door?
He's BTJ. What you gonna do? He's BTJ. He's gonna put it on you. He's BTJ. Gonna have a good game. He's BTJ. Your mama screams his name. BTJ is going to put it on you. There's not a single thing that you can do. BTJ is going to put it on you. There's not a single thing that you can do. Brown, oh yeah. Brown, touchdown. You hear that sound? It's Chase Brown. Chase Brown, 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 Chase Brown.
Honey, what is that awful sound? Ma, that's Chase Brown. Ma, you got my Hot Pocket ready yet? Where are the batteries for my Game Boy?
Chase Brown. Chase Brown.
Jam. Call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Jay says, give me the Triple H and Associates. I need them on the line right now. Put me on that one, please. Yes, sir. We're doing it live. Thank you, Jay in the building. So, Jay, here you go. Appreciate you. You are now officially on the board. I'll play a couple more so people can see what it is you could potentially get on. You can do anything. It could be the take a lap. It could be the take a big lap. It could be the Charbonnet season like this one.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk.
Warning, what you're about to see might be a little bit scary. You might want to turn away if you're squeamish, but this footage has been sent to us from a local Phoenix resident. Local authorities are trying to figure out what the sign means. It reads Sharb Season.
There are handfuls of Saturn, Mars, and Moon men, but only 8 can be supernovas.
Nobody's ever got the supernova board.
I give you the 8 best picks in fantasy football.
Nobody's ever done this one.
They are the 8 supernovas.
Thanks again, Jay. Appreciate you, Jay.
They are the 8 supernovas. The hateful 8 get buckied.
This one's jam-packed. Got to reorganize that.
Bucky. Oh, Bucky.
Yeah.
Get lammed.
All right, we are out of here. Jonah with the final super chat here, $4.99 hauler. Thank you very much. Hey, Smitty drafted last night. All right, let's see what this is real quickly. Thank you, moderators. Thank you, Space Ricky. Thank you, Sick Nasty. Thank you, Blackbeard. Thank you, Travis. Thank you, DeBolt. Thank you, Vampy, if you're out there. Did I miss anybody? Double A, if you're out there. Hey, Smitty drafted last night and took Jeanty Achane. Nice. JSN Garrett. Nice. Connor. Mayfield, Debo, Ingram, Godwin. Yeah, I love the start. I love Jeanty Achane, JSN Garrett. Not a big Connor guy this year, but man, he continues to do it, and I could be wrong there. Baker's a baller, Debo's great, Ingram's great. Not huge on Godwin, so maybe I'm considering like a Connor Godwin or a Connor. If let's say Bigsby gains some value, you could maybe do something, along those lines. Thank you so much for the super chat. Other than that, you kind of got to wait it out and see if like maybe I don't really want you to trade any of those other guys. Look at Mills and Jay McKenzie want to be bunk mates, have bunk beds over on the Nova list together. I can appreciate that. They said push them together, bunk beds, the 2 best friends that anybody could have. Okay, let me fix these up and we'll send you both on over. Red Rover, get the bunk beds ready and send Mills and Jay right over. They want to be on the Nova list on the way out the door. You got to love it. Appreciate you both. Thank you, Millsy. And thank you, Mackenzie. Doing it live. Let me grab both of these. Getting them all prepped up and ready. And we are heading out of here. See you tomorrow.
There are handfuls of Saturn, Mars, and Moon men, but only 8 can be supernovas. I give you the 8 best picks in fantasy football.
They are the 8 supernovas.
Mills gets the top bunk because he was first.
They are the 8 supernovas. The hateful 8.
Millsies gets the top bunk.
I'm looking at the 8 supernovas. The magnificent 8.
Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight of the orbiter Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared.
Shuttle has cleared the tower. Thank you, Millsy. Thank you, Jay. So much room for activities is correct. All right, see you all tomorrow. Appreciate you. That was a 3 hour and 40-minute stream. Holy shit. 3 hour and 40-minute stream. It's insane. All right, later, everybody. Appreciate you.